ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
Thinking that you were just giving up on the Falcons.
When you've been through the pain of 28-3, you've been through the pain of going to the Super Bowl and your defensive star gets arrested the night before the game. I mean, there's just so many circumstances where it's just painful to be a fan.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Saturday morning. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies today, and with the spring sunshine, should hit about 80 degrees. An east wind 10 to 15, and the water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 73. Mostly clear overnight, 60 to 65, light east winds. Another nice day for Sunday, mostly sunny around 80, a southeast wind about 10, 12 miles per hour. It'll be breezy to windy Monday, mostly sunny in the low 80s. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, this is meteorologist Tim Root.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey, cheesy, crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
The brand new Burger King at Weewa Hitchka is looking for managers and team members. You'll get to use your smile and personality and get paid for it. You'll be responsible for getting guests excited about their experience every day at Burger King. You'll get to work in a safe, productive environment that allows employees to thrive and advance with career opportunities. Burger King promotes from within. They offer training and development, flexible schedules, employee meal discounts, and scholarship opportunities. Burger King is an equal opportunity employer. Interested job seekers should text 007-8075 to 31063 to apply. Must be at least 16 years of age.
As a realtor, it's important who you choose as your title company. May we suggest South Oak Title? Their offices are modern, comfortable, and state-of-the-art. South Oak Title can close transactions in any location in Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. Their free mobile app allows realtors to deliver a net sheet in seconds. They provide mobile closing services to accommodate buyers and sellers. Their offices are beautifully decorated, state-of-the-art, complete, safe, and secure. South Oak Title, creating a better title and closing experience through technology and tailored service. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
It's the cooling season, and time to call Steverson Air Conditioning for your preventative maintenance to keep your air conditioning system operating at full capacity. Steverson Air Conditioning has preventative maintenance programs, and they service all makes and models. Steverson Air Conditioning offers air duct cleaning. Steverson Air Conditioning has after-hours service and free estimates on a system change-out or duct cleaning. Call them at 248-1109.
Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers on Panama City Beach. Fresh, never frozen chicken tenders fried to perfection and served with their famous signature Guthrie sauce. Guthrie's box, snack, and chicken sandwich are sure to please. And for larger gatherings, try the family meal or Guthrie's Chicken Finger Bucket. Let Guthrie's cater your next event. Find their daily specials on Facebook on Front Beach Road across from the Beach Shopping Center. Since 1965, fresh, hot, and fast. Now available on DoorDash and Uber Eats.
This is where history is made. WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, powered by Pepsi. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michael Studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get past the people, get past the hit me.
And hit me, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I've been hit. I'm back in the saddle. Enjoyed my time off down in Lee County, beautiful Florida. Mark Coward, the legendary Mark Coward, sitting in this morning. Mark, how are you doing?
Good, Coach. How are you doing this morning?
Couldn't be better. John, how you doing? You looking mighty fine?
I'm doing fine. And before you get started with what I'm sure is to be a very, very busy show, a couple of things. First of all,
missed you terribly.
Well, I missed you too.
And the people I talked to missed you terribly. A lot of things happening. First of all, we've got billboards all over town, electronic billboards. So there's where your raise went.
Oh man, yeah, you got that right.
James paid for those billboards.
I did. I absolutely did.
And listen to our fans, to your fans, I should say, out there with their radios on and listening at work. We want them to have a chance to win a prize today. And our prize today for some lucky caller is a $25 gift certificate card to Rudy's Barbecue and a 12-pack of Buffalo Rock product.
Yeah.
So some lucky listener, or should we say fan, is going to win that today. So you might want to jot this number down, 850-215-6290. That's the magic number that you can call in.
6290?
6290.
90. There you go. I hadn't said it so long I forgot. 215-629. There you go.
And so
Rudy's sure
jot
is
that
good.
down. All you got to do is take one of those magic markers, put that on your wife's forehead, and then every time you look into those beautiful eyes of her, you'll have that number handy just all the time.
Absolutely.
So and some lucky callers going to get some goodies today. So I know you've got a lot to get to. So let's get to it. What's going on?
Okay, John, I don't know. I just got a text. We're watching on Facebook but can't hear. So we'll work on that. I don't know.
We got to talk louder.
Yeah, we'll just scream. You just turn the radio on. Hey, solve your problem. Turn the radio on. Don't worry about Facebook. No, I'm just kidding. We'll get it. We'll get it right. Let us know that we think we've got it now. Mark, how you been doing?
Coach, I'm good, man. It's been a very busy beginning of the year. It feels like I'm still in February or March, and we're almost into May.
How is it? Is everything hot? Everything still set? Is it slowed down at all?
No, real estate business is really good. It's
Now,
one of those things that, everybody expects there to be this big bubble coming and all this kind of stuff. I got news for you.
No bubble?
That ain't no bubble.
And
it's,
even with the interest
everything
rates
averages
going
out.
up?
Well, what happens is the people who sat on the sidelines and didn't buy and waited for things to change, it happened in reverse. The interest rate started going up. So if a person is buying based on a payment, now they can afford less house than they could before.
Exactly.
It's actually backfired on them by waiting.
Yeah, and now usually when the interest rate goes up, product goes down, but I ain't seen that yet.
Well, we'll see. I mean, there's so little for sale.
Yeah.
When you're,
you got it, hold it, baby.
I'm telling you.
I don't know. I'd like to have some more. That and the creature comfort stuff I like.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. A few more wins.
There you go.
That's all it takes.
You get anything you want.
There's only one thing. Winning solves everything.
There you go. I went down to Lee County. They had something really special. If you're a former athlete, a former coach, you would love for this to happen in Bay County. Of course, they got to care. They honor their former coaches, their former players. They do it. I think they start. Actually, I think the first one I want to say was back in 2012. But Mark, they do an incredible job. They used to do a North-South All-Star football game down there, and they use the same hotel. Beautiful place down there, great facility, and they pack it out for that. And now they've done the Hall of Fame, Lee County Northwest. No, I'm getting ready to say Northwest Florida, but Lee County Sports Hall of Fame, and they honored Noel Devine, which was one of the top players coming out of the country back in 2007.
Yeah.
He actually signed with West Virginia. Did a great job there. He was one of them. And then Isaac Harvin from Cape Coral High School, the class of 1994. He won the 100-meter. I think it was more towards track with him. 100-meter, 200 meters, was unbelievable. Played on the Kansas State football team that went to the Fiesta Bowl that went 11-1. He played on our championship football team in '93. In fact, I think the years we were there, we won like 28 games, 28-3, something like that when he was there. But great football player, great young man. Big night for him. Coach Jim Brandt was there.
Jim Bob.
They went down there. We had a great time. We went out. I don't know if you've been to Captiva Island yet.
I have. It's beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. We went to the Bubble Room. It's a really famous place. It was built in 1979, and they have all these old toys. I'm talking pictures from the stars back in the 30s, and it's an incredible place. Lunch for two people was $75. Prices have gone up a little bit.
Well, you're making way more money now. You can afford it.
Yeah. That isn't the point. Anyway, but the food market's incredible. Great play.
Hey,
Actually,
if you
food.
can't pay, don't play.
There you go.
Now the bubble room sounds to me like it's got a totally different. It sounds
walk
like a strip club.
You walk in, and the building is all these. It's red. I'm sorry, it's not red. It's yellow, green. You walk inside, and everybody's got on these little outfits on. And it's Christmas time every day.
Oh.
You looking down in one room, it's Santa Claus in there, all this Santa stuff, Christmas trees, all kind of stuff. Then there's toys everywhere. There's a choo-choo train going around the top of the restaurant in a circle, all over the place. It's just incredible. Disney stuff. It's you got to see it to believe it. Julie took a lot of pictures. Food's really good. It's just really the atmosphere. The desserts are the best you ever had in your life.
You can't beat Christmas all the time.
All the time. And that's what they say. Merry Christmas when you walk in, you leave.
Gatlinburg, Tennessee's got a place like that too.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, these old toys. I'm talking about stuff back in the 20s and 30s, and all those pictures of all the old actors. Really incredible place. Had a wonderful time there. We went down there and I stayed Monday after the show. We drove down there and came back Friday. And that's a good little haul.
Yeah,
Now you guys take trips like that, hauling them boats, fishing. I don't see how you do that.
Man, from the Carolinas to Texas.
That's dangerous, brother.
We don't ride in the boat while we're towing it.
I don't know. I don't know. I've heard you ride a lot of things.
Yeah.
But anyway, we had a great time there. Isaac got put into the Hall of Fame. I want to tell you one thing, Mark. This one class, all three of these guys got inducted from Lee County at the same time. And I want to think it was 2019, 2018. I'll try to find it in a minute. These were the guys that were inducted out of Lee County. For North Fort Myers, Deion Sanders, Javon Kirst. He was the freak that played at Florida. And who was the other one? The running back from Tampa Bay played at Mariner, Ernest Graham. In one class. That was 3 NFL guys out of that county in one class. It was truly incredible. And they produce great players down there. I talked to a bunch of coaches down there, administrators, and I tell you, man, it's a different time in the world. They're having a hard time getting anybody to go to any of the games. High school football is dying out.
Well, there's too much entertainment. It used to be on a Friday night. That's what everybody went and did, whether they had a kid playing or not. I remember in Birmingham, you'd have 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 people just at a football game.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. They still do. I went up there past football season, Mark. One band had 350 members. The other one had about 400. That's your halftime show.
Yeah.
It was incredible. Birmingham and Alabama, Georgia, some states are still the king. But in Florida, especially down in Southwest Florida, like you're talking about, there's so much other things to do.
That's right.
You're fighting everything else. And they say with a school of choice, kids going everywhere, nobody's going to games.
Well, it's not, you create this lack of loyalty to a community. And it's kind of like the transfer portal in college football.
Crazy.
I mean, it's
it's
a different deal.
My secretary here got some stuff up for us, and like I said, I've been out a little bit. Hey, give us a call sometime today. 215-6290. We're gonna give away some great things for you. We've been out of the saddle. We're back in. Mark's filling in with us today. Mark's done a great job every time he comes on. Hey, you do a good job on that TV show too.
Hey,
really
man,
you're the star.
Man, I'm not the star.
Yeah, I think you are.
I just make people laugh.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
Here we go. Arnold Baseball. I hope this is right. Arnold Baseball, and we got Coach coming on in a minute. I thought it was he's got this thing going, man. They're 3-0 in the district. I think overall they're 16-7. I think softball team at Arnold, I think, is 18-4. They beat Fort Walton Beach 7-5. I think in their last game. Bay High School. Stark didn't come on. Now I know why he didn't want to come on this year. Star in Bay High School 3-15, 1-2 in the district. They lost to Port St. Joe 6-1 Friday. I think in softball they're 2-15. Bay lost to Ponce de Leon 13-2. Bozeman, I tell you what, Patton's incredible. Maybe the best coach in the state. Patton is 19-3, 4-0 in the district. Bozeman again beat South Walton Friday 4-0. Softball, Bozeman is 7-8. They lost to, I think, North Bay Haven 13-3 Thursday. That's the latest I have on that. And if I'm wrong on this stuff, it's my fault for letting her do it. Mosley High School baseball, which is unheard of. They're only 10-11. We knew the schedule was incredibly difficult. We knew that, but still it's kind of shocking that Mosley be 10-11 this time of the season. Coach Hudson does an incredible job. We'll have him on Thursday. District, they're 0-0, I believe, in district. Softball-wise, I believe they beat Sneads 9-11. Their overall record, I think it's 9-11. I think they beat Sneads Friday 14-10. North Bay Haven 10-10 in baseball, 2-1 district play. They lost to Fort Walton Beach 4-0 Friday. Softball, I believe they're 10-9. I think they're 4-1 in the district, and they beat Walton 6-5 in their last game. Rutherford, and we'll have Coach on tomorrow, Coach Coffey on tomorrow. He's doing an incredible job over there building that program back. They're 9-10 overall in baseball with a difficult schedule, 2-2 in the district. Softball, they're struggling this year, 0-16. Chipley, we got a lot of great people up in Chipley listening this morning. Appreciate you guys. Chipley is 12-10 in baseball. They have a great baseball program up there. District, they're 0-0. Chipley lost to Sneads 16-12 Friday. I believe the softball team is 9-12. Mariana, appreciate Mariana. All you guys listen up in Mariana. Excuse me, Mariana, 11-10 in baseball, 0-1 district play, 16-2 softball. They got good athletes up there, got good coaching staff. The whole school's got good coaches up there. One of the great high schools in Bay County. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Mark, I want to talk to you about a young man that does an incredible job. South Oak Title and Closing. I always say the
Chuck
big
Tucker.
time. There you go. The big time realtors use them. You use them all the time.
Yeah, that's all I've ever used. I mean, my mentors in the real estate business told me right out of the gate, he said, you need to go find Chuck Tucker and use Chuck Tucker. I've been with Chuck Tucker, since I guess I started selling retail real estate in 2006. Chuck's closed or been part of virtually every closing I've had. I know that there is a difference. A lot of people don't realize it, but service to the buyers and sellers and service to the agents. A lot of real estate companies make the agents and the buyers and sellers work for them. It's the other way around. Actually, you're hiring South Oak Title to do their job to make sure you have a successful closing, and they are the absolute best at it. No one can compare to them, and if you're not using them in the real estate business, you're making a huge mistake.
No surprises.
Absolutely not.
J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive. I tell you what, I went to the Bubble Room, and I got to tell you what, I spent about $20 on a grilled chicken sandwich. The one down J. Michael's is a lot better. J. Michael's Restaurant, where I usually see Mark Coward. I see a lot of that crew, a lot of realtors down there. You see everybody at J. Michael's Restaurant. Incredible place, best seafood, coldest beer every Wednesday, world-famous spaghetti. Get out there and try it. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Jason does an incredible job. They sponsor our Alabama Update. They do everything. This hot weather is coming. It's on its way. Get it serviced now. It'll save you money in the long run. Matter of fact, if you got an old one, buy a brand new one. All it's going to do is pay for itself. Buffalo Rock. Matter of fact, we're going to give away some. All you got to do is call. We're going to give away some Buffalo Rock stuff today. 215.
It's sitting right here, ready to go.
6290. Well, I tell you, when we get back, we'll talk to Arnold's baseball coach, which has turned that program into a powerhouse. Right back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest.
This was just for you, Coach.
There you go. I'm rambling out of here this week.
Atlanta Braves baseball is back.
Swing and a drive. That's hammered deep right. He jumped on one and hits a homer.
We're your exclusive radio home for the Atlanta Braves.
At the wall. It is gone. A grand slam for Acuna.
Hear every exciting home run, every strikeout, and every thrilling victory on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Saturday morning. It looks like a nice weekend around the listening area. Near 80 degrees today and near 80 degrees on Sunday. We'll have an east wind about 10 to 15 miles per hour for the next couple of days. Mostly clear skies in the mid-60s overnight, sunny in the low 80s for Monday, and rather breezy. We'll keep you updated. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, best little lumber yard in Panama City and Youngstown. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Let your spring adventure begin at Bill Byrne Kia. Stop by today to discover why everyone is talking about the award-winning Kia. Now offering 1.9% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a 2022 Kia Forte, K5, Soul, or Sorrento. Bill Byrne Kia is not only the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, they're the home of the best customer experience anywhere. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillByrdKia.com. We make make buying a car easy, and you'll enjoy the way we do business.
Offer from KMF for the purchase of a new 2022 Forte K5, Soul, and Sorrento with $21.65 per month per 1,000 financed as 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 5/2/22.
Now you can interact with the Coach James Hale Show live in the J. Michaels Studios. Download the new 104.3 ESPN app at the Apple Store and Google Play. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show, powered by Pepsi. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
First concert I ever saw, Johnny Cash, 1968, Garrett Coliseum.
He
Montgomery,
got
Alabama.
you on the stage. I remember that.
Yeah, you know what? They had people from prison or something there in the back behind the stage. That somehow,
Well, that's why you were there.
My whole family was there. Matter of fact,
Y'all look good in orange. Hey, they look really good in orange. I promise.
I like that. We got Coach. All right, what I got? Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. Coach is knocking out of the ballpark. We got the head baseball coach, Arnold High School, Coach Jones. Coach, how you doing this morning?
I'm good, guys. How you doing?
I'm outstanding. I've been gone for a week, but I've heard some great things. Being on the beach this past weekend, baseball program. I tell you what, you have turned it around. Talk about what you did last week and what you got coming up this week. But let's focus on last week. A couple games last week.
All right, we went 2-0 last week. On Tuesday, we came back to beat Mosley 4-2, and then on Thursday, we beat South Walton 8-6. So
that's a great
we're
job,
16-7 overall and 2-0 last week. Sorry, go ahead.
What a great job, Coach.
That's unbelievable. Let's go back to the Mosley game. I don't know, Mark. I'm trying to think. I don't know the last time we've beaten them. I think we beat them twice. You beat them twice this year, correct?
Yes, sir.
I don't think we've ever done that before in the same season. Beating Mosley twice. Talk about that. Who'd you pitch in those games? And those games against Mosley?
Cooper Moss started. He threw 5 innings, gave up the 2 runs, but probably no earned, maybe 1 earned run, depending on a scorer's judgment. And then Ethan Gill threw the last 2 innings and gave up nothing, kept us there. And once we took the lead, we took the lead with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. It was 2-0. We had nothing going on all night. They threw the Martinez kid. I'm sorry, I don't know his first name, but he threw really well, much better, frankly, than I had hoped. Let's say, but he threw a great game. I don't think we got our first hit till about the 5th inning. So we're down 2-0 going into the 7th, and we're able to load the bases with 2 outs. And Colton Dorsey got a big hit, which he could have been the hero, but he hit it too hard right at the left fielder. So he got a base hit to make it 2-1. I couldn't send the runner from second. So then Cooper Moss was up, and he had an 0-1 pitch into the gap in left center for a double and cleared the bases and put us up 4-2, and that was the decider there. So it was certainly exciting. And as you mentioned, to be honest, Arnold High School had only beaten Mosley 1 time in their history up until this year, and so for us to beat them both times this year, that's pretty good stuff. Our kids are pretty happy. Our kids have been playing well. I mean,
you've been coaching.
Start the conversation here with what a job I've done or whatever, but the kids are doing it. I'm along for the ride. It's a great group of kids and a talented group of kids, and they really compete. And I think that's the thing we've been trying to get into them in the last year and a half or so. They really fight. They really compete. I love that about them.
Let me ask you this. You've been doing it a long time. Have you ever seen 2 freshmen come in and do what these 2 have done? I mean, it sounds like not only great pitchers, but they also can hit the ball. Because I've heard in the past you got to get a freshman come in that's really good, either a bat or they're really good at as a pitcher or something like that. But these 2 guys seem like they can do the whole thing. Talk about that. Are they that good on both sides? Can they hit the ball really well and they're really great pitchers?
Well, they've been doing a great job on the mound, as you mentioned, and has been getting a little bit of notoriety around here. Cooper Moss has really been one of our better hitters as well. Eli Blair is not really hitting for us, but we think next year he might slide into one of these positions and become a hitter for us in the next 3 years. So it is, like you said, it's uncommon to have a freshman come in and make an impact like they have, and then to have 2 of them make that kind of impact, and to have Cooper do it both ways, because like I said, he threw 5 innings, really good baseball against Mosley that night, but then he also delivered the winning blow with the bat, just a rocket to the gap. So it was, to see that from a freshman, to see that from anybody is impressive, but to see it from a freshman is certainly really impressive. And it's, all the credit goes to those kids, the coaching they've had in their background, and all that stuff. We didn't make these kids baseball players this year, although hopefully we've helped them a little bit. They came in pretty good, and we haven't screwed them up yet. So far so good.
Well, you're doing something right over there because they've never done what they're doing right now, which is incredible. What kind of crowd did y'all have out there? And the game was at Mosley, wasn't it?
Yes.
It
was a good crowd. It's hard for me to tell because I pay most of my attention to the game.
Yeah.
But it seemed like a good crowd. They were into it. They were boisterous. But really, for a long time, it was a pitcher's duel. And so it's not quite as, you don't hear the crowd quite as much in a pitcher's duel because those guys are just dominating the game. But certainly in the 7th inning there, it got a little loud on our side of the benches at least. So it was good to see. It's great to see a nice crowd there. And I mean, these kids work hard, both teams, all the time. Almost 12 months a year around here, and to see them go compete and have a tremendous following from the community, to watch them do what they do, I feel like it's great for these kids. Because I've been places you mentioned. I've been coaching a long time, and we don't get high school baseball crowds for a regular season game like that anywhere else that I've been. It's awesome around here. It's great for the kids. They get on TV and like all these things that they may start to take for granted. None of my kids at my other high schools have ever had such amazing opportunities at that age, and it's really one of the best parts about playing baseball here in high school, I think, in this area.
Yeah, I was down in Lee County, down southwest Florida, talking to some administrating coaches there, and they were really disappointed that these people don't show up to games anymore. And really, we were talking mainly football. But then I heard a couple of them say, no, it's like everything. There's so many other things to do down there. Plus, a lot of people move in there from all over the country. And, most of our people here are raised and born here. We do have the military bases, people coming here, but it's still a lot better here in this part of the state. I think it is down in South Florida where it just doesn't seem as important as it used to be. What do you got going on this week? Who you going to play this week?
Today we play at home finally against North Bay Haven. It's going to be our senior night, our last regular season home game. And then Wednesday we're at Choctaw, and that's it for the regular season. This is the last week of the regular season, and fortunately for us, we are on pace to play 25 games without having to have 3 or 4 rain makeups this week. So we kind of got off, I'm not going to say easy because of who we're playing, but easy because we only have to play 2 games this week to try and get the 25 games in. So actually, to be honest, using the Publix sports park, those guys have been awesome with us. They've helped us stay on track in terms of the rainouts because we certainly have had some rainouts, but we were able to move some games there. So I feel like it's an advantage for us to only have to play 2 games this week and still get our 25 in because I know softball, for example, played I think 3 or 4 games last week. They're playing 3 again this week.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to play the 2 and sort of rest up a little bit for the district tournament next week.
All right, go back to the district. 3-0 in the district. How's this thing? I know you've told me before, but tell me again. How's this going to work out? You get through these 2 games here, then it's district. Where's it going to be played? Where's your game going to be played at? Who's hosting, or do you play at home? I mean, I've heard in the past they let them play at home, or somebody's hosting. You all got to travel over there. How are they doing it this year, as far as your district?
Well, the official rankings come out tomorrow, but last week we were number 1 in the district, and South Walton was number 2, and then we had a 2-0 week and beat South Walton. So we're going to assume that we're still going to be number 1 in the district, which means we would host the winner of the 4-5 games. I believe Bay will host Pensacola on Monday. That would be number 4 and number 5 in the district. We would then host the winner of that game on Tuesday at Arnold. And if we were to win, if we were the number 1 seed, then we would also host on Thursday the championship game against the winner of the other game. So there's a lot of ifs in there. I'm not making predictions. I'm just saying that's the way it would roll. But the higher seed, the better seed, is the host school. So South Walton would host probably it seems like South Walton would host West Florida on Tuesday at their place as a 2-3 game. And we would host either Bay or Pensacola at our place on Tuesday. And then the 2 winners would advance. And then if we were the 1 seed and we were the winner, then it would be at our place.
All right, and go ahead and fill us in again about the new, if you win your district, you're in the playoffs. If you're district runner-up, what do they do then? They go back and look at the it's voted. You're voted in the playoffs. Is that right?
It has something like that. It has to do with the rankings. So yes, if you win your district tournament, you're in the playoffs and you host the first round of the playoffs. So that gives there are 4 districts in the region. There are going to be 8 teams in the playoffs from each region. So the 4 teams that are automatically in are the ones that win the districts. The next 4 teams in are the next 4 highest ranked teams according to the FHSAA rankings, and they get in as like at-large bids. So if each district, for example, had an upset and the fifth place team won each district, then the teams that were ranked 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the region would be the other 4 teams that get in and would play those 4. Yeah. And obviously, there's going to be some sort of combination thereof. So having a good regular season gets rewarded at this point. Doing it the way that works best in the rankings gets rewarded at this point, which I'm still trying to figure out the rankings a little bit. But I believe last time rankings came out, we were number 3 in the region. So if we, by those rankings, again, not making any predictions because things change. We have a pretty decent chance of being in the playoffs either way. If we happen to lose in our district tournament and we were still the 3 seed, we'd get in, but we'd have to play on the road somewhere against, I'm not sure who the opponent would be. But we're just going to try and take care of what we can control, which would be trying to win as many games as we can, just play the best that we can. That's the goal. But if we're able to win our district tournament, then we're guaranteed to be in. We don't have to wait for the rankings to come out. And we also know that we're on our own field the first day of the playoffs, which would be Wednesday, the something or other. I know it's a Wednesday, but so that's how it works. It's the 4 district winners and then the 4 highest remaining ranked teams according to the Florida rankings.
Yeah. Mark, I like the old way we earn it on the field.
That's right,
play
man.
District
Let
games.
me tell you something. You need to get to the playoffs and get there by playing in the dirt, man.
Yeah, I don't like this voting on. I mean, Coach, I don't want to put you on in this, but to me, I don't think the rankings are. They got somebody watching all these games. Anyway, I hate the new way. I like the old way. It's just different for me. But you guys are doing a great job. I love it that it looks like you're going to be in either way, but it's better just take care of business. Like you said, no surprises. Just go win these games and get in and do something great in the playoffs. Health-wise, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to agree with you. I mean, we don't want any surprises. You never know with rankings. And I think the reason for the rankings is because sometimes one district is significantly tougher than another one. And so if you just take the top 2 from everywhere, sometimes the 3rd place team in one district is better than the other. So they're trying to be fair. I mean, we did this in California a little bit also. There's no way to make everybody happy. So at the end of the day, if we want to make sure we get in, then we just got to control what we can control. And if it doesn't happen, then
play your way in. That's the way to get
stressing it out and see what happens.
Play your way.
Hey, are you guys pretty healthy right now?
Relatively. Christian Corona's got a little thing with his shoulder right now. He's left fielder for us, been doing a great job. Colton Dorsey is the one he hasn't thrown a pitch since the first day, and he's been DH in the last couple weeks. He's starting to throw the ball a little bit. He wants to he wants to catch a couple innings tonight as part of senior night, as part of his rehab also. So that would be fun to see him back there literally for the first time this year. But, in general, we got bumps and bruises. It's a long season, and people have been beating us up all year physically and mentally a little bit. So we took a little bit of a 3-day weekend here to try and heal up and get ready to go. But we can't really complain about where we are health-wise. We're doing pretty well.
Well, great. Well, listen, we'll talk to you next week. Keep it up, Coach. Proud of you. Great job over there. You built a great program, and keep on rolling, man. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you.
Great job, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye. All right, Dr. Chad Mitchell, man. If you get injured, Mark, no one place to go. That's Chad Mitchell. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. return to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and staff meteorologist Tim Root for up-to-the-minute weather reports all day long.
Moving northwestward into the Gulf of Mexico by the weekend.
In-depth storm coverage.
Gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour.
And breaking weather as it happens.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hear that? That's the plumpest, juiciest hot dogs you've ever seen getting their grill on. But we both know what'll make it sound even better. Oh yeah, it's a Pepsi to go with your hot dog. Because when you're chomping on America's favorite meal, relish, mustard, and onions perfectly blending into a crescendo of flavor, there's only one thing that makes everything about that moment better. A cold, refreshing Pepsi. See what I mean? It's like music to my ears. Hot dogs. Better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs, with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5, and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food, on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
The Braves are back, and they're on a mission to defend the East, defend the National League pennant, and defend their world title.
Line drive, that is through. It gets through. Here comes Dansby, and the Braves walk it off. This is unbelievable.
Tomorrow night, Truist Park comes alive for a huge National League matchup as Matt Olson and the Braves take on the Chicago Cubs.
Coverage starts tomorrow night at 6 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And here we go. The #1 SEC call-in show is now twice as big. The Paul Feinbaum Show. Weekday evenings 6 to 10. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Give us a call, Dave, if you'd like to. If you don't. If you want to call and get something nice to yourself, that is 850-215-6290. We miss your calls.
We do have some nice prices for some
you know what? I'm going to beg them. If they want to call, they'll call.
$25 gift certificate to Rudy's Barbecue.
Can I win that?
Yes. Matter of fact, I hope they don't call. If they don't,
calling right now.
No, we'll just take it.
I'm calling.
You know, I've got a question for you guys. Get into something. When you were talking to Coach Jones and you were talking about the lack of enthusiasm of people coming to the games and things like that. Do you think that social media has anything to do with it? They can watch the game on YouTube or Facebook or something like that?
I think the worst thing that ever happened to these phones. I mean, you go home, I look over at my wife, that's all she's on. 24/7, she's glued to it.
She doesn't want to talk to you.
I call Mark, go by and see Mark at a restaurant. Mark's glued to it, but he's doing business. I mean, you're on there doing real estate and stuff like that.
We were talking about going out on. We were talking about going out on the boats. Well, we took a couple of my wife's girlfriends out on the boat with us, and this has happened just about every time that we've taken friends of ours out. They get out there. There's dolphins. There's manta rays. There's all these the beautiful fish and the wildlife, and there they are. You know, jets flying overhead, and I said, "Look at that!" And they're looking at their cell phones.
By the time they look up, it's gone.
Yeah.
That's like traveling. We're going to Captiva Sanibel all night. Beautiful. I look down, she's on the phone. I don't get it. I don't get it. The only reason I do it is look up sports stuff. And on Facebook, all I do is
breaking news. James is on his phone every second. Don't let him fool you. Breaking news.
Yeah, I'm looking up sports information. You look at my Facebook thing.
You can't even read.
Is share that.
You can't
everything
read.
I hear, I can look at pictures.
That's
and
true.
everything I do, I share this stuff all the time. You look at it, you'll see it. Yeah, speaking of sharing, I don't like the voting, the way they vote now.
I don't either.
It is such a danger. And he's right. And that was one of the arguments. Like, our district's tougher. You look over at Pensacola. Pensacola's good, but the other team, let's say it's Washington, they're not very good. They got in. and over here we had so and so. So I remember those arguments, but at least you knew what you had to do to get in the playoffs. You had a schedule. You had to win those games.
You had to play your way.
Yeah, and now I don't know.
I'm going to tell you, back in our day, you go back, 12, 15 years ago, you look where we had to – who do we have to go through? You had to go through Pensacola.
Yeah.
You had to go – then we had to go through Wakulla. We had to go through Rickards. We had to go through what's the other school in Tallahassee?
Godby. Yeah.
Let me tell you. I mean, here we are, a bunch of beach kids, and we're getting to the playoffs. I mean, I think we went playoffs 8 times out of maybe 10 or 11 years.
You remember Pensacola? They'd won. I remember Bill. We're getting ready to play Pensacola. Bill Thomas, and he was just like, man, Pensacola. This is. I'm like, I looked at them, and they had won like 30 games in a row over there. We went over there and the little Beach Boys and beat them. Beat Pensacola, and I'm like, our kids.
You know what we did?
Played really well.
We went and played football.
Yeah, and we knew, you win these games, you get in. If you don't win them, you don't. And now you can think you're in, and all of a sudden, some team somewhere else gets voted more votes than you do. They're in. It's I just don't
the team
like
that you may have beat.
Yeah, I mean,
it's unbelievable.
I don't like it.
Hey, let me tell you something. It goes right back. Everybody gets a participation.
Everybody gets a trophy.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you, you earn what you get.
Hey, let me ask you this: as far as redfish tournaments, do you guys they vote on how you look, how you guys fish, or do you actually have to get the fish in the boat? How does it work?
Let me tell you something. You to be competitive in that sport, it's like being competitive in anything. You got to put the hard work in, the preparation. You got to practice like it's a tournament. You got to prepare yourself to win. Let me tell you something. It's one of the hardest wins there is. We got a buddy of ours, Trevor Taylor, Air Force kid. This guy's won twice, beat us once. I mean, we thought we had a thing won over Louisiana, and he beats us. I'm going to tell you something. That's when, preparation and luck meet. That's when everything met. Yeah. And, I mean, it's, and that's – I'm telling you, it's hard to understand. It's like Michael and his partner, Brad Hounshell, today. They won a couple of times last year. The first tournament last year, Michael did not fish with me. Michael, my son. It was our first event fishing against each other. I think I've got it won. Michael beats us. We finished first and second.
Wow.
Little bastard.
Now, where was this tournament at? Where was this one at?
That was here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was not me. It was nothing like being at home to be able to go fish. That way you stay in your own bed. But
redfish is coming
tournament
soon,
redfish.
Right?
It's like bass fishing on TV.
And what did they call it? Gargantuan groupers or something like that.
Goliath groupers.
Goliath groupers.
Well, there's no Goliath groupers where we're fishing. We're fishing the water so shallow that you can just get out.
Yeah. And it's that's a whole new thing, right?
No. Tournament redfish has been a big deal.
No, I mean the grouper.
No, Goliath grouper, they've been around forever.
Oh, yeah.
You can't keep those fish, though. You can't even take them out of the water.
But I thought now they're going to start opening up a season.
Oh, they might. I'm going to tell you, man. If the water's deeper than 5 feet, I don't fish in it.
I don't even go out in it.
I was like, is fishing tournaments, are they getting more popular? Or is it like everything
I mean,
else?
now there's, what's happened is in that industry, you had several major players. You had the IFA Redfish Tour. You had, back in the day, you had the Old Boy Alberto Tour, the Redfish Cup Tours, the FLW Redfish, all this stuff. And then the economy in this 07, 08, 09 economy kind of got rid of a lot of it. The IFA stayed in there, and that was really the series that everybody fished to make the championship, to have a chance to win those, to win.
Right.
And today it's coming back, but the problem is there's so many different series out there. They're spreading all the anglers out. It's kind of like if you had 3 professional football leagues playing all in the fall. Some of the greatest players aren't going to play in the NFL because they got a better deal to go play somewhere else.
Right.
Well, so it spreads everybody out, so the talent pool gets diluted. When you dilute that talent pool, then it's a completely different thing. You have guys that win that probably wouldn't even be close to competing on the national stage when the greatest anglers are there. Ironically, probably the most competitive redfish tour in this country is located in Northwest Florida. It's the Emerald Coast Redfish Circuit, or the series. There are more professional wins and championship wins represented on that series. Like the last one here, Fred Myers won it with his son Carter, and that's just like me and Michael, except Fred Myers is maybe the greatest redfish angler ever, and he is a Tom Brady of redfishing. He truly is, and he lives right here. But I will tell you, when you win here, you're beating those people. and that's the problem. It's not the most prestigious tour, but let me tell you something. It's like if all the guys last year that made the let's say that they were college All-American football players, they all showed up on a Saturday and played on a dirt field. They went out to a parking lot in the grass and played football. That's what you'd have. You'd have the best of the best doing it.
It'd be a hell of a game.
Oh my God! But that's what happens is here. I mean, you look around. There's winners all around you, and and that's one of the things that people don't understand about this sport. Michael and I cut our teeth doing that. That's how we learned to go out and travel and redfish professionally. I mean, you got to have someplace you go learn, and the Emerald Coast Redfish Circuit, that is from Pensacola to Apalachicola, is one of the greatest places you can go do it. Is right here. You can find them on the internet, theredfishclub.com. I think that's what it is. But I'll tell you, man, I look back at Michael and I think, 2 torn ACLs, 2 ACL replacements. He was so competitive and he wanted to do something where he could compete. And we found it in doing this. And we did it together since he was 14 years old and traveled all over this country. Michael's, I can tell you, he's probably the most truly sponsored tournament redfish guy in the country. He's like a NASCAR guy to these companies. He's a good, clean-cut kid. Doesn't smoke. He guides here when he's not traveling tournament fishing. He guides inshore charters here. And you look, he's got 83 reviews on his page.
Wow.
Every one of them are 5-star.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a 4.9.
That is not an easy task.
Let me tell you, you go read those reviews. If you ever get a chance to go fish with Michael, you need to do it. It is something else because he cares.
You guys are kind of like golfers. You got the sponsorship. You probably make your most money off the sponsorship, right?
For Michael, it's a combination of things. He gets money. He knows before the beginning of the year based on his sponsorship contracts. Well, I'm going to have this much money.
Right.
Well, then he's got to back into, all right, well, I'm going to go fish these 12 events. I need to at least make this much money doing that. I'm going to run 120 trips fishing this year. I'm going to make money from that. So, it's just one of those things for, any of these guys that, and a lot of the guides turn into tournament redfishing. Michael became a tournament redfish angler, a winning tournament redfish angler, and he became a guide.
Let me ask you this: with the price of fuel now, is this hurt the sports at all?
Well, I can tell you that, back there in tournaments, there's been times that we've made 70, 80-mile runs one way. Wow. One way. And, you're burning through, you get 2.5 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
I mean, that ain't very much. And so, you have to look at, there are guys who've won some of the smaller events, and they've literally lost money by the time they paid for their fuel.
Yeah, right. Diesel fuel at over $5.
But we're not running diesel. We're running, you're running regular gas. But, these boats, these high-performance.
Some of the boats are flying.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Michael's previous tournament boat, the one we fished out of the last 3 years together, we can run 75, 76 miles an hour. And I'm telling you.
That's flying.
You don't even, going 50 on the water feels like that you're going 100.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people, like Rudy's Barbecue. Matter of fact, if you want a Rudy's Barbecue card, give us a call, 215-6290. Back Beach Road, Ethan Boyd to be here tomorrow does a great job.
I had Rudy's just 2 days ago.
Mark, is that not? The place is gorgeous. 350 seats, brand new facility, wonderful staff down there. Again, Ethan Boyd.
Make sure when you go in there, you ask for the Coach Hale discount.
Oh, yeah. Just look on the wall. It's right there as you walk in on the right-hand side. You'll see it.
You'll get nothing like it.
Bay Point Golf. Does anybody play any place better to live to play golf than Bay Point?
I will tell you this: the Nicholas course there, and the job Ryan Mulvey does, is unbelievable.
Yep,
unbelievable. Of course, his wife Beth works for me, best without a doubt, one of the very best real estate agents in the country. Matter of fact, she was the #1 Best of Bay recognized realtor in 2021.
Best looking and best working, right?
Yeah, that's a hard-working woman right there.
Great
mom.
Great family.
They are great. Yes, an all-American family.
All right, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. How does Florida pay its coaches? Florida Gators. 104.3 ESPN Northwest.
Country music singers have always been a real close family.
Good Saturday morning. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies today, and with the spring sunshine, should hit about 80 degrees. An east wind 10 to 15, and the water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 73. Mostly clear overnight, 60 to 65, light east winds. Another nice day for Sunday, mostly sunny around 80, a southeast wind about 10, 12 miles per hour. It'll be breezy to windy Monday, mostly sunny in the low 80s. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, this is meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Everything bagel, it doesn't have a name of the flavor. It's like saying my favorite team is the NFC East. You can't do that. You got to pick a team. I will go to the mat on this one.
The NFC. Like my favorite team is the NFC. It's right. Incorporating a lot of.
It's the Rob Lowe would have a hat that says bagel. Like he has a hat that just said NFL. You can't. Everything bagel should be off the board.
Dan Patrick. The Dan Patrick Show.
9 to 11 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
The brand new Burger King in Weewa Hitchka is looking for managers and team members. You'll get to use your smile and personality and get paid for it. You'll be responsible for getting guests excited about their experience every day at Burger King. You'll get to work in a safe, productive environment that allows employees to thrive and advance with career opportunities. Burger King promotes from within. They offer training and development, flexible schedules, employee meal discounts, and scholarship opportunities. Burger King is an equal opportunity employer. Interested job seekers should text 007-8075 to 31063 to apply. Must be at least 16 years of age.
Dr. Chad Mitchell, orthopedic surgeon, specializing in sports medicine and joint replacement of the knee, shoulder, and hip. He serves our local athletes and our community. Southern Orthopedic Specialist has been the leader in orthopedic care for over 20 years. New patients are welcome. Call 850-769-KNEE to schedule an appointment. More about Dr. Mitchell and Southern Orthopedic Specialist is available on their website, southernorthopedic.com. Southern Orthopedic, getting you back in the game.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michaels studio.
They got something that money couldn't buy. I was noticing when you come down the stairs that you've got pretty legs.
All right, I'll tell you a story without a happy ending.
Y'all following this?
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go Gators! Florida Gators. Does it pay to be the head football coach at Florida? Let's look back to 2012. And we all know who the football coach was back in 2012. We always kind of liked him when we'd go to football camps and ever be around
Talk
the
about
guy.
Will?
Will Muschamp, yes, sir.
Will's a good guy.
Will, in 2012, Will made $2,474,500, $2.4 million. His record, his first year, I think it was his first year at Auburn, at Florida, 2012, they went 11-2, and we all thought, man, this looks pretty good.
Yeah, they're going to get there.
And I remember watching the Sugar Bowl. I thought Florida would blow them out. I lost that prediction. Louisville got it done. Louisville beat them 33-23, and he gets a raise.
Well, that was a foot race there, though.
Well, Charlie Strong had them ready to play,
Yeah, he did.
and they beat Florida. Florida didn't look like they were ready to go, and I was disappointed in that game. I thought Florida would win that football game. Well, you get a raise. You win the Sugar Bowl. You go to the Sugar Bowl, you get a raise. He did get a raise in 2013. Will Muschamp went to 2.4 to a little bit over 2.7. His record after getting the raise, Mark, was only 4-8. Did you think this is the beginning of the end?
I will tell you that not everybody's meant to be a head football coach.
Some are better coordinators.
You're daggone right.
I kind of thought this is not a good sign. We're heading the wrong direction. He goes 4-8. Hopefully it'll get better. Did he get a raise? Absolutely not. They kept him right where he was at. 2014, he made $2.7 million. His record that year was 6-5. Guess what happened after that?
Let him go.
You got to go. 3 years, okay? 3 years. He brought in, about $8 million, close to $8 million. You add all that up, 7-point-something million dollars. Pretty good paycheck to coach for the Florida Gators. That was pretty good money back 10 years ago. Not bad at all. Not as good as Saban, some of the other ones, but still pretty good money. 2015, who do they bring in? They bring in another Nick boy.
Yeah, McElwain.
McElwain, well, what did they have to pay him?
4, wasn't it?
Close to it, 3.9. It was $3,983,359.
Where is Coach McElwain today?
Was he at Colorado State? No. Where is he now? No, Michigan State. Somewhere in Michigan. Not Michigan State.
But he's not a head coach, is he?
Yeah. Central Michigan, West Coast Michigan. I don't know. Somewhere, one of the smaller schools in Michigan. And actually
coaching Pee Wee football.
Actually doing a good job. Heck, they're winning. But anyway, Matt, when he came to Florida, his first year, I guess the first year is always a good year for Florida coaches. Who knows? His first year at Florida, they go 10-4. They go to the Citrus Bowl, and I think they beat Michigan. I believe. Now I could be wrong.
They blew Michigan out.
Yeah, I think they did. But anyway, he made almost, like you said, almost $4 million. 2016, they bumped him up. He had a good year, so he gets a raise. 2016, it pays to be at Gator. $4,268,325. You know what his record was? He won again. They were 9-4. They go to the Outback Bowl. They won. They beat Iowa, I think, 30-3. Then 2017, he gets another raise. Now he's making $4,457,400. I think you threw in some change too. I remember when we were down there, you gave him some money.
Oh, I worry about him.
And guess what happened, Mark's his third year. The third year at Florida, you got to be careful. He gets fired. They go 3-4, and then they knock him out the door.
3-4.
3-4.
They didn't play enough games.
No. Remember, they fired him during the season.
You're exactly right.
3-4. They're fired, and they bring in Dan Mullen. And I thought bringing in Dan was a great thing.
I thought Dan was absolutely. He'd coached there. He was Tebow's quarterback coach.
There you go.
And I'm going to tell you, people don't know this stuff, man. I thought for sure.
He won at Mississippi State.
Yes, he did.
I mean, he won at Mississippi State.
That's a hard place to be a consistent winning team.
If he would recruit, if he'd have worked his tail off recruiting like he does on the field, he probably would have. And he was really loyal to his assistant coaches. He probably should have got rid of his defensive coordinator. We all talked about that. But anyway, Dan comes into Florida Gator. Now, Florida starts paying really well. 2018, they paid him $6,070,000. $6 million.
They had a good first year, though, didn't they?
Oh, they were outstanding. 10-3. Won the Peach Bowl over Michigan, 41-15. The next year, they didn't give him a raise after year one. They kept him right where he's at. He made $6,770,000. His record again, the second year was outstanding. It was better than the first year. The first year was 10-3. The next year, they're 11-2. They won the Orange Bowl beat Virginia 36-28. And then 2020 comes. They go 8-4. Here again, Mark.
No raise though, right?
Year 3, no raise. They kept him safe for 3 straight years. They didn't give. I guess they learned from the other guys before. But year 3 for a Florida coach, like Steve Spurrier, has not been so good since 2012.
He had a winning season though, I think.
8-4. They lost to. They went to the Cotton Bowl. Yeah, they went to the Cotton Bowl after playing Alabama. I think it was played Alabama.
Oklahoma State.
Yeah, they beat Oklahoma. No, Oklahoma beat them.
Oh.
Oklahoma beat them like 55-20.
Okay.
It was ugly. And then what happened to him? He comes back for 2021, and he
$1 million raise.
Listen,
$1.5 million raise.
All right, let's look. I want to look at Florida. Why did they do this? 2018, 10-3. Okay, everything's good. 2019, 11-2. Yeah, he's doing better. No raise, no nothing. 2020, he goes 8-4, going the wrong way. But let's give him a raise. They give him a raise for 2021. He made $7 million. He's making big money, Mark.
7.5.
$7,570,000. Big pay raise. What did he do? They go 5-6. They lose to Central Florida.
I remember that.
In the bowl game, he gets fired. He was the 6th highest paid in college football. And now he's
coach.
Gone.
I just don't understand why he did not work harder at recruiting.
I don't get it. We talked about it the whole time. Well, and then keeping the defensive coordinator when you knew you had to make a change. He didn't do it. He's a very loyal guy, worked hard. But he didn't. I mean, he wasn't a Saban. He was not a Kirby Smart to get out there and work the recruiting trail like these other guys. If he would have, I think he still would have been there. I mean, you can recruit. Look what's going on right now. I think the guy's doing a great job recruiting at Florida right now. And I think he's going to win big time. But Mark, at the time, I think he was the 6th highest paid when he got fired. Let's see. Saban was the number 1 guy. I think Saban was making almost $10 million off his bonuses. Then, believe it or not, the guy at Stanford, Shaw, he made $8.9 million over that, over 8.9. LSU's Coach O was making 8.3. Dabo was making 8.2, and then Lincoln Riley was making 7.6, and then it was Dan. So he had it made. He had everything going the right way. If he could have just recruited.
I know it's hard to understand. It's almost like he tried not to recruit.
It was just weird.
I tell you though, I think Billy Napier is going to turn it around.
I guarantee he's going to. He's won all the. Well, then again, Dan won at Mississippi State. Billy Napier was winning huge at Louisiana. But the thing about him, he learned from Saban. Saban loved him. I remember when he was there.
Man.
He did a great job.
Michael and I played golf with Billy a few times. Played golf with he and Chris Rump once. And
he also worked with Dabo.
Yeah.
And Dabo can coach. So the guy knows what he's doing. I'm like you. I think he's going to do a super job at the University of Florida.
But I tell you what, they all have to learn. It's one thing that Nick Saban did when he got to Alabama. He shut down interference from outside that locker room and outside that athletic facility. He got the coaches to understand. Yes. I don't care what a booster says to you. This is what you're going to do. And he told the boosters. No, I mean, Nick basically said, let me tell you something. If you interfere with us, we're going to take your season tickets from you. And I mean, that's basically what he told them. And I'll tell you, that's the difference. They all get down there. It's like FSU. All the chatter from outside that locker room and outside that athletic facility is like poison. It is the rat poison. Yeah. It truly is. And, and that's the same as Florida. They got, when you got those boosters so ingrained with the program, maybe Billy, but you know what? The ones that figured out, Kirby did it at Georgia. He says, guys, we got to do it our way.
You see what he's done. He's hired so many assistants. It's unbelievable. The support staff. And Florida let him do it. I mean, that's a good thing. They've opened the pocketbook. They're doing what they've got to do to keep up. They got behind with Georgia. Georgia did, like you said, Georgia did everything Alabama did.
Yes, he did.
Florida didn't. Now Florida's do it. And I do think they got that $100 million standalone football facility. They got more money than any other school in the state. I
guarantee you they do.
It could. To me, it's the best job in the state. The only problem is you got to play in the SEC, which is a lot more difficult. Florida State. I think Florida State. Florida State can get back too. I do believe Florida State can get back, being really good. But they did. They hired the right guy. I think he's going to do a great job for him. And I'll be honest with you, Mark. I don't even know what they're paying him. I didn't look up.
I don't even know.
I did the whole thing on Florida Pay, and I didn't look up him. I apologize for that. I'll try to get it up to you. It's not like I thought it was going to be, but he wanted more money for assistants. He wanted more money for the support staff. They've got it. They're recruiting at a different level right now. And you've got here's the bottom line. You want to have great teams in high school, you got to have guys that can play on Saturday. You want to have a great college program, you got to have guys that can play on Sunday, that play on Saturdays. That's just the bottom line. The guys with the best players, usually, not always. You can win with great players, but you can't. You can lose with great players, but you can't win without them. You've got to have you have to have good ball players to win. It's crazy, and I think he's going to get them there. I really do. I think Florida's going to be really good. The problem, Georgia's not going away. Long as Saban's at Alabama, they're not going to go away. You got to play all those SEC schools, and we don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to do the pod system? Who's Florida going to play in the future? If it's just the East teams, and let's say they put Oklahoma in the East and Texas in the West, then I think would be a lot easier for them. They do go to the pod system where you're playing such a difficult schedule. He might be doing an unbelievable job, but he's not going to win 12 games a year, 11 games a year because of who they play. SEC is going to be – they're going to beat each other up here in about 3 or 4 years. You might see it this year. Who knows?
Oh, it's coming.
It is definitely coming. But anyway, that's what we have for you today for the Florida Gators. Let's talk more about some of our great people. Mark, you want your truck or your SUV to look brand new, showroom ready. All you got to do is go to Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road. They do an incredible job. And just don't get the regular car wash. Go ahead and get the $19.99. You get it paid. It pays for the rest of the month. You can get it washed twice a day after that. It's unbelievable. All right, you want to say something?
Yeah, Billy Napier, 7.1 in 2022.
That's pretty good. That's
strong.
Better than I thought it was. Get out to Newbies, man. John and Charlotte do such a wonderful job down there. The Mothership, the best bands in the Southeast, every Friday and Saturday night. Also, Newbies 2 on the Curve, the place to go watch all sporting events. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, don't play around with it. Go see Dr. Ward. We'll be right back with Mark Coward, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd.
Some people see sports as escapism. I've never once in my life gone to a game to escape. Escape what? I love my wife. I love my job. I love my kids. What am I escaping? If you have to go to sports to escape, maybe that's more on you.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Weekdays 11 to 2, ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Hear that? That's the plumpest, juiciest hot dogs you've ever seen getting their grill on. but we both know what'll make it sound even better. Oh, yeah. It's a Pepsi to go with your hot dog. Because when you're chomping on America's favorite meal, relish, mustard, and onions perfectly blending into a crescendo of flavor, there's only one thing that makes everything about that moment better. A cold, refreshing Pepsi. See what I mean? It's like music to my ears. Hot dogs. Better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Atlanta Braves play here. WGSX Lynn 8 and WTOT W271DM Mariana. Powered by Pepsi. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Did you know that we have a master jeweler right here in the store? That's right, he has over 30 years experience in the art of repairing jewelry. Most repairs are done within 2 business days, so don't send your jewelry off for 6 weeks. Bring it to us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We size rings and solder chains. We can reset your diamond into new settings and even custom design. You'll get your jewelry back quickly and looking as good as new. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, Bay County's trusted jeweler for over 45 years.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide. Alabama Update right by Stevenson Air Conditioning. Hey, it doesn't matter how hot, how cold. If you got Stevenson Air Conditioning, you got it made. Matter of fact, if you have an issue during the night, I don't care what time, day or night, call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll come out and solve all problems. They do an incredible job. It's the only thing you can buy that actually pays for itself. Stevenson Air Conditioning is number one. Jason is number one. Matter of fact, Mark, you want to work for a great company that you get to work for them, you got it made. And they were hiring people. I'm not sure right now if they're looking for anybody or not.
Maybe you could start another career.
Well,
go do that.
I would love to. I'm part of the team now. I'm just part of his team right now. And I do some consulting.
They're good at what they do.
They're excellent. They do a great job. And so does Nick Saban, the highest paid coach in college football, regardless of what anybody else does, how well they do. In Nick's contract, he has to be paid. He is the highest paid coach in college football. Alabama, Mark, they got a pretty good fast guy out of Louisville, Tyler Harrell.
Oh, he's a speedster.
Was it 4.26 or something? 4.24. I mean, I heard it and I said, "What? There's no way." And then I looked at some speed. The kid can fly, no doubt about that. Last year he had 18 catches, 523 yards, 6 touchdowns for Louisville in 2021. He committed to Alabama on Friday. You know, he's from Columbus High School in Miami. So there you go. There you go. How many great receivers come out of Miami?
Most of them.
They can fly. And Alabama's done really well.
Yeah, they have.
Coming out of high school, I think everybody wanted the guy. He signs with Louisville, does a great job up there. He visited Alabama. He said the fan base is incredible. The experience I had up there was, I've never seen a place like that before. I was excited about it. The facilities were incredible. Mark, you've seen the facilities. You know what they're like.
Oh, let me tell you something. It's unbelievable.
The football fields, how many they got.
Oh, the practice fields? Oh, my gosh.
Unbelievable. The apartments where the players live, second to none. The academic support staff. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, I will tell you that, you know, we've been in a lot of locker rooms, a lot of athletic facilities around this country, but I can tell you something. None of them has the feel that what they did in Tuscaloosa is quite remarkable.
The Malmore facility is second to none.
Unbelievable.
Everything was just great. So here we go again. Nick Saban. Remember, Mark, he talked about he didn't like the transfer deal. I hate it. I loved the way they used to be. You transfer yourself out a year. Give them an extra year, and that would have been it. But no, not anymore. Do what you want. Go to school. Go to college. Don't pay it back. Somebody else will pay it back for you. Do what you want. You know, hell, why don't we give scholarships anymore? Just let them go play football. Anyway, this is Alabama and Nick Saban. He talked about this, Mark. You remember him talking about this?
Yeah, he didn't like the transfer portal at all, but everybody knew The best recruiter in this country would be the best transfer portal recruiter in the country if you let it sit there.
Amen. And what he say? He said, "This is really what you guys want."
That's exactly right.
We're going to take advantage of it. We have to. I don't like it, but he's taking advantage of it. He got two of the best receivers. He got Jordan. Now, this is incredible. Just think about this for a minute. Mark, you've won a national championship. You just won the national championship. Your best receiver just won a national championship, and he leaves, and he goes to school that you just played against to win the national championship.
I really think he wanted to play with Bryce Young.
He did. He wanted a quarterback, and that's what the knock is at Georgia. They still don't think this kid is the quarterback. Well, he did. He won the national. I mean, what else can he do? He won it.
I mean, Georgia's defense won that game last year.
Georgia's defense is
Not the
incredible.
offense.
But here we go. He, like you said, he wanted to play for a quarterback he knows can deliver the ball to him. He wants to get his touches, and he's a great
Same
player.
as a kid coming from Louisville.
We're talking about Burton. Was it Burton? Yeah, Burton, the kid from Georgia. The guy, he's doing a great job at Alabama. They love him up there. He's doing a great job. Now, the kid from Louisville, how's he going to fit in? He's got the skill sets to really help Alabama. But they had a kid just left. That Hall kid had all kinds of skill sets. But
what he didn't have was the attitude.
And the Bengals quarterback
that
came out of there.
Yeah.
Well, you got to, one of the things that people don't really grasp, Nick Saban can get a 3 or 4-star kid to play like a 5-star. And if you're a 5-star with a 3-star attitude, you're not playing.
Yeah.
You're gonna be on the practice team, and you're gonna play against the first team defense and give them a look, and you're gonna earn your way on the field next year. Those kids can leave. Saban doesn't want them. And that's really the key here. The first thing that a coach looks at, I heard that, Lane Kiffin made a really good statement. He goes, man, the first thing is on a transfer portal kid, I don't care how good he is. My question is, does the coach want him to stay? If the coach wants him to stay, I want to talk to him. If the coach doesn't want him, I don't want him.
Yeah.
And attitude becomes everything.
Yes, let me tell you something, man. Attitude will destroy.
Well, Hall, they had a scrimmage on Saturday. Hall either got there real late.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was the last straw. That was, he talked about, well, I didn't know I was kicked off the team. Yeah, he was done.
Let me tell you something.
You don't do that, Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing I love about
you
him.
don't do that in anything. It come in when you want to.
Well,
I'm late.
Well, I don't know. In the old days, you didn't. In the old days, you didn't.
The problem is a lot of these coaches are trying to keep the kids instead of having the kids want to be there.
Yeah.
And there is a giant difference.
You got coaches getting out of the profession because what the NCAA's done. This new thing where you can leave, you can sign here and go. Like the kid from Texas, he went up to Ohio State and made over $1 million as a quarterback. Didn't play. I think he got on the field once. Now he's back. He's at University of Texas now. So he made double money. Made money from Ohio State. Made money from Texas. It's just like Bryce Young if he wanted to right now. Bryce Young could go, you know what, Coach, I think I'm going to transferring out. Well, what would you do? Said, well, what's the deal? Well, the NIL, I need more money. And they can get it now. I mean, certain schools would do that. It's crazy. It's just a different
Well, it's going
world.
to ruin the sport.
Yeah.
It is because of the schools with more money.
Well, the transfer portal is in the NIL together is a dangerous thing.
It's going to ruin it. It really, I do. I feel like they're going to ruin college football because sooner or later, fans are going to say, "Wait a minute now." It's going to turn off fans. Sooner or later, it's going to turn off people. Let me get back to Alabama. You're talking about transferring in. Not only did Nick get this kid, now Kincaid is a tight end. Alabama, Utah's tight end, Delton Kincaid.
No, he's a great player.
Good-looking kid. I don't know if we're going to get him, but don't be surprised if he doesn't come to Alabama also. But what did they do, Mark? They needed a running back. They went and got Gibbs out of Georgia Tech.
Yes.
They couldn't tackle him.
I'm going to tell you something.
During practice, getting ready for the national championship
His
game.
speed against 5-star DBs was shocking.
Great hands.
Yeah.
Can block. He's the whole package.
He's got that. Let me tell you something. I watched a kid that played football at Southern Miss, had one of the fastest explosion speeds in the whole I've ever seen, Jeremy Hester.
Mm-hmm.
High school All-American. Of course, I was a running back coach at Arnold when he was playing. But I am telling you, this kid reminded me of Jeremy. All you need.
Bigger
I'm talking about just the explosive speed through the hole. Then that separation to clear the linebacker, and that what you do is what happens is a lot of people don't understand that explosion speed to separate from the linebacker is what nullifies the angle. A guy's got that angle. If he's going to catch him unless that guy has exploded past that linebacker, and then you can't catch him.
And that's what he did. Not only at running back, his two receivers they got. the kid from Georgia, and the kid from Louisville. They can take it to the house every time they touch it.
Absolutely.
Then not only that, they got a former 5-star cornerback. They needed help in the secondary. What do? They go to LSU and get their best player, the Ricks. That kid is a former 5-star. He can play. Now he was injured some. The kid's got unbelievable talent. Then they needed offensive tackle. What did they do? They got the best one in the lot. They got the kid from Vandy that sneezed.
Let me tell you something. Alabama needs this kid.
So, Mark, they wouldn't got two receivers, running back. They're probably going to wind up getting that kid, that Kincaid kid out of Utah. So that's a tight end, 2 receivers, running back, and offensive tackle. And at one time, they had like 87 on scholarship. They just lost a big a 5-year defensive lineman transferring out. Because Saban sits there and talks to them, telling them, this is what you need to do. You're not going to play much here. I'll help you go wherever you want to go. So they'll be down under 85 when everything's said and done. But anyway, getting back to what he was talking about, this is what you guys want in college football.
Yes.
The rich are getting richer, and Alabama's getting there. Southern Cal, man. Southern Cal's going to be back. I watched them a little bit on the TV the other day. I'll talk about them a little bit later. But I want to get this. How much time we got? 3. All right, I want to get this in. Invading the Big Ten. I looked at this and said, what is this about? Ohio's governor, Mike DeWine, signs into law Alabama license plates that actually helps the University of Alabama. He signed a law that we created, money will be going to Alabama. Can you believe this? In the state of Ohio.
So you could have an Alabama license plate in Ohio, an Alabama logo, Alabama football license plate logo on your tag in Ohio State. And then they got to pay money to the state to do it.
Ohio specialty license plates benefits the University of Alabama. State Representative Adam Byrd, a Clermont County Republican, introduced a bill. It's Bill 220. He introduced in the honor of his father. His father was Ron Byrd, who played for Alabama's 1964 national championship team for Paul Bear Bryant. The license plates would cost an additional $40 if you purchase it, $40. That funds would go for a scholarship from students at the University of Alabama from the state of Ohio. I cannot believe the governor signed this.
I used to live in Clermont County in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a little town called Milford.
Can you believe this happened?
But to pay money up there and have it go down here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the whole lottery thing. The money's supposed to go to school, but yet my taxes keep going up on my property.
Well, remember now, you had to pay. It's not like any other Ohio tag. You had to pay extra $40 for it, and you had to be an Alabama fan, or you wouldn't want it.
You never. That's right.
And that money would help. Yeah. But still, it's money from that state going to university students that go from Ohio. Students that go to Ohio that go to the University of Alabama. It's a scholarship.
They offer the same thing in Alabama?
No.
No.
You kidding? That never happened in Alabama. What? Yankee? No way. But anyway, his daddy played. That's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting.
That's a great story.
Obviously, he was shocked. I mean, he was kind of like anything. He knew it was going to cause some stink. He was shocked it went through. It did pass, and the governor signed it. But then again, remember, it's bringing an additional $40. So I don't know how much money they're actually giving those students. Maybe they're giving them $1. Who knows? But it's just kind of weird that the great people from the state of Ohio, and you will see Alabama and Ohio State playing in the future in these playoff games.
Thank you, damn Yankees.
Anyway, thank you, Stevenson Air Conditioning, for all you do. Jason, love you guys down there. Also, don't forget about Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. You want the best pizza. It's 3 restaurants in one. The bakery's incredible.
Why don't you ever take me there?
It's because it's too good. The deli's unbelievable, but the pizzas, if you love it, it's unreal. All right, we'll be right back. We'll talk to Mark Cowd about Auburn Tigers, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Saturday morning. It looks like a nice weekend around the listening area. Near 80 degrees today and near 80 degrees on Sunday. We'll have an east wind about 10 to 15 miles per hour for the next couple of days. Mostly clear skies in the mid-60s overnight, sunny in the low 80s for Monday, and rather breezy. We'll keep you updated. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, best little lumber yard in Panama City and Youngstown. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Mike Greenberg. Greeny.
I think Nuno is going to get his wish. I think Donovan Mitchell is going to want out of Utah. I think they're going to lose that series. I think Luka will eventually come back. If/when they do, I do believe Donovan Mitchell decides he needs out of Utah. And whether he decides he wants to go to the Knicks or not, that's an entirely different conversation. I think Donovan Mitchell is going to want out of Utah.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby. The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Tiger fans, join us weekday mornings at 8:15. It's the Bay Point Golf Auburn Update on the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
War Eagle! Hey, this update's brought by Bay Point Golf. Mark, if you love golf, where are you going to go play at?
I'm going to play with my man Ryan Mulvey at the Nicholas course in Bay Point.
Absolutely.
The best golf course, best maintained golf course in North Florida.
And your backyard is part of that golf course. I will say this, if you want to have a wonderful time on a Friday night, Saturday night, if you want a special dinner on Thursday, you don't have to go fight the traffic. You don't have to go fight the crowds. You go to Bay Point Club 72. The food's incredible. The atmosphere's second to none. TV's everywhere. They also have bands and music played on Friday and Saturdays also. Get in there and they do a great job. Mr. Warren and Ron Moby do a great job down there. Get down there and support them. They do a wonderful job. And they love the Auburn Tigers. Tomorrow we'll have Andy Birchman here, the voice of the Auburn Tigers. Mark James Gualameyer, your next door neighbor, he loves the Auburn Tigers.
Oh, yes, he does.
Him and
huge
Jenna,
Auburn fan.
Yeah, they love Auburn. All right, Auburn. Now I'm going to talk to you about this, Mark, before I get in my update here. We both love Harsin. I think he's a really good coach. Great guy. Great family man. What they did to him, we all thought was pretty terrible. I like the idea that Talladega reached out to him, pace car.
No doubt.
I love that. You know, Nick Saban did a couple years ago. Harsin, they invited him to do that. They showed a picture of his son. His wife was there. And I'll tell you what, that's a beautiful lady. Good-looking family, the kids, everything. I don't know if there's a son or not. But I thought he had all daughters. Maybe he does have a boy. But anyway, he got in the car, went around, did a practice lap. He started the race. I thought that was outstanding that he did that. And I think his dad has something to do with race car driving or something like that, or maybe a fan or something. I read something about it. But, Mark, if they would have fired him, he would have sued them for damages, and he would have walked out of there with big money. He told him he's not leaving. He's going to stay there and coach. I hope they give him a couple years because I think the guy can get it turned around. But it's going to be difficult next year. There's no doubt about that. All right. 8 defensive linemen, okay, have left Auburn since the beginning of last year. 8. You and I both know well is everything is won up front on both sides of the ball, offense and defense side of the ball. Offensive line, defensive line. That's where you win ball games at. This is probably the hardest position to coach, especially the defensive line. They have extended an offer to a defensive transfer guy. It's in the portable. He's from Nebraska. The defensive line is Casey Rogers. He posted on Twitter account that Auburn has offered him. 8 hours after he entered the transfer portable, his name, they see it, Auburn offers. He's got other offers so far, too. TCU, Arkansas, Southern Cal, Washington, Oregon States. Out of high schools, he had everybody in the country wanted him when he came out of high school. Multiple offers. Alabama, Ohio State, Indiana, Oklahoma, Mississippi State. You name it, everybody wanted him. 2018, he played as a freshman, but they also redshirted him that year at Nebraska. 2019, he played in 4 games. In 2020, a shortened season by COVID, he had 25 tackles. He had 3 tackles for loss. He had 1 sack. 2021, he had 17 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, in 7 games played. Now, the kid's a big boy. He looks good. His body looks really good. 6'6", 300 pounds, looks like he runs pretty well. Doesn't have crazy stats. Didn't play on a really very good football team. Nebraska's not been very good ever since they joined the Big Ten. I don't know how good of a football player he is. Evidently, Auburn thinks he can play, and all these other schools think he can play, or they wouldn't have offered him. He's got potential. They've watched on film. Auburn needs this kid. They need to get every defensive lineman they possibly can get.
Auburn is if they don't get at least 2 or 3, they're going to have a problem. Because let me tell you, you can have the greatest defensive tackle in football if you don't have help around him.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
All he'll do is get double teamed and chipped off by a back if he has to.
If I can find my notes, I'll go over this. And we talked about this in the past. It's not just your first team guys in the SEC. Absolutely. How deep are you? How good is the second team, the third team? You've got to be able to rotate defensive linemen in. If you can't,
they're spent
when you
in the
play
middle of the third
every
quarter.
single week. And listen, guys, they got Penn State at home as one of their non-conference games, and then they got the 2 big rival games, the number 1 and number 2 teams in the country. Auburn's schedule was ranked by computer, and if I find my notes here, I'll go over all of it. Right now, I'll just talk about Auburn. ESPN Computer ranks Auburn's schedule. One time, everybody had them like the 3rd toughest. Well, by a computer, Auburn's got the toughest schedule in college football.
It is a problematic schedule, I can promise.
Crazy.
But they do open with 5 games at home, and that'll help them.
You got their schedule right in front of you?
I don't have the schedule. I'm just looking.
Yeah, it's if you can find that, you got to play Texas A&M, LSU, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Alabama, Georgia. It's crazy. And then you add Penn State. And you've gone through what he's gone through last year, all the scandals, everything that's been said. They've got to go get defensive linemen. This kid's got to be a good quality backup player. Now, the guys Auburn's got right now, they got 2 studs up there that can play. They don't have any depth.
Yeah,
they've got to get this kid. As soon as we know what the kid's going to do, we'll let you know.
I got their schedule. You want to hear it?
Yeah, let's go over.
All right, they're going to open up Labor Day weekend with Mercer.
Okay.
Then they're off a week, and they come back with Penn State. No, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. Sorry.
That's okay.
They go Mercer, then San Jose State, then Penn State, then Missouri, LSU, Auburn.
Auburn played Auburn.
Well, hang on a second. I'm telling you,
it's probably at Auburn.
Well, I'm having to use a hand crank internet system here. So they go LSU, Georgia, Mississippi, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Texas A&M, Western Kentucky, which is a trap game in my opinion between Texas A&M and Alabama, and then Alabama in Tuscaloosa.
That's crazy. I mean, it really is. That is the toughest schedule in college football. I agree with that 100%.
There's no doubt.
And you've got to have scholarship players playing on the defensive line. They've got to get some kids. He knows. I mean, we're not telling anything he doesn't know.
If you want to know how important depth is on a roster, depth is ready to play. Alabama against Georgia in the second half did not have a second or third team receiver who was ready to play in that game.
And it showed.
And it absolutely showed.
All right, I want to get into this. Now, we already talked about the offense side of the ball. I mean, the offensive line, defensive lineman. But Auburn lost a great football player. If you love him or you hate him, the kid had all kind of potential. One day, I agree with everybody out there. I always said I thought he could win a Heisman when he came out of high school. Everybody in the country wanted Bo Nix.
Absolutely.
His dad was a great football player there. Bo, some days like he was a Heisman Trophy quarterback. Other days, not so much so. And he did have a tendency to tuck the ball and roll to his right. I get all the criticism. Well, he did at Oregon, did you watch Oregon spring game? Bo Nix looked very, very good. You got to remember, this is 4th year playing, 4th year starting. They had their spring football game. The former Auburn quarterback looked outstanding. Again, coming out of high school, everybody in the country wanted Bo Nix. I thought he would win a Heisman Trophy. I thought he was that good watching him play up in Birmingham. Jamie covered him. I thought the guy was an incredible football player. I wish he would have stayed at Auburn. I think year 4 he'd have been unbelievably good, especially if you could protect him. You got to get better. Every year, get a little bit better and a little bit better. And this has been his 4th year. He'd have broke every record there's out there for Auburn football, passing records, if he stayed at Auburn. But he goes to Oregon on the first drive. I think his first play, Mark, very first play,
70-yard touchdown.
70 yards. Well, it wasn't a touchdown, 70 yards, and then 2 plays later, he throws a 5-yard touchdown pass. That was his first drive. He hit Thornton on the deep pass for a 39-yard touchdown. He was 8 of 15 for 230 yards. He had 3 touchdowns. He only had 1 interception. And then last year at Auburn, he passed. He was 61% passer. He passed for 2,294 yards, 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And for whatever reason, I guess I really think this is what happened. I think him and his dad went and talked to Coach, and I think they
thought Harsin was going to have issues.
No, I think he. Well, I don't know this. This is kind of what I believe. He went and said, "Look, am I going to be the quarterback?" And I think Harsin did what any coach would do. So I can't promise you anything.
Well, that's exactly right.
And he couldn't. He said, "If you go out, I'm sure he said, if you go do what you're supposed to do and you beat him out, you'll get it." And I think the kid wanted to hear he's going to be the quarterback. Now, I could be totally off on this.
Well, you got to remember this, too. At that time, Harsin was under attack.
Well, Finley, I don't know. I think that's what happened. And Bo, I think, got his feelings hurt. But not only did Bo leave, they had a lot of people leave out of there. Which is kind of, you got a brand new coaching staff. That stuff happens. And a lot of them went down to Gus.
You got to look at Harsin was under attack. I mean, they were essentially trying to say he did everything but kill JFK. Yeah. It was awful. Like I say, they're lucky they didn't get sued. But now conversely, you look at what Dan Lanning is going to do. All of a sudden, Oregon's looking like a traditional football team, going to play football.
We got an SEC coach as the head coach there, and he knew Bo. He wanted Bo big time. They went against Bo all those years he was at Georgia.
Absolutely.
So, and he knows his dad and everything else, and he's got other guys up there, and he's recruiting really hard in the Southeastern Conference.
He's
to get
doing
him to
a
go
great
out to
job.
Oregon.
Dan Lanning's a great man. I'm telling you guys, it's a great story, and he deserves the opportunity he got. I can promise up at Oregon.
But I'll be honest with you, I'm glad for Bo. I hope he tears it up out there. I hope he has a wonderful year. I think he did get his degree from Auburn before he transferred out of there. I wish he would have stayed, but Auburn, if they do have a tough year like everybody's predicting they will, I hope they give him at least one more year. I don't think they will, but I hope they will, because I think he's a good man. I think he's a good coach, and I think he can get it done if they leave him alone. But the bottom line is, how's he going to recruit? Can he recruit at Georgia's level? Can he recruit at Alabama's level? And that's going to be it, Mark. If they don't bring a lot of good players in, that's what they're going to hit him with. Well, but we can't win because he can't recruit.
It's hard to get a kid to go somewhere if you feel like the coaching staff is not stable.
Absolutely. And you know how dirty that's all they're here. Why would you go visit?
Yeah, why would you go there? Why would you?
He's not even going to be there.
Yeah, what do you think?
Look at their fans.
Yeah, I mean, is that what you want? Their quarterbacks transferring out? You want to go play for them? Everybody left.
Nobody's going to Auburn. What's wrong with you?
That's the chatter those kids and those parents are hearing. It's hard to recruit against that.
And that's what you were talking about earlier today, about keeping all that stuff outside.
Yes.
And not letting all that pressure and all that
get inside the building.
Of the building.
That's right.
Makes sense.
They wrote a song about pressure. All right, let's talk about some of our great people like Bay Point Golf. Ramo, we love you, brother. Hopefully he'll be here Friday. Oh my goodness, Mark, we had a tough one Saturday. We had a tough one Saturday. Leighton Bell, they lost 1-0 soccer game. And Ryan's their coach. His son's an incredible athlete.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
We were undefeated. Special. We were undefeated, and we got beat.
Was it your fault?
No. Well, I think Eric's going to have to come up with more money than NIL. Taco Bell. Leighton was complaining after the game about she didn't feel like she's being paid like she should be.
She did have the right shoes on.
Yeah, she wanted Taco to pay for more shoes. But anyway, we'll have him here Friday talking about everything about Auburn. We appreciate the Auburn update by them. Also, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Jason Kofaleski does an incredible job. You have a son or daughter that plays sports. You want to get an edge. Go visit with him. You want to get bigger, stronger, faster, quicker. The guy can get you on the right path. It's unbelievable. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Florida. Pressure!
Don't forget that number, 850-215-6290. Become a part of the show, win a prize.
.3 ESPN Northwest Florida presents Wrestling Against Cancer number 7. In the main event, Chief Little Bear versus Kelly Man. Plus, exciting women's wrestling Saturday, April 30th at the Bay County Fairgrounds. Doors open at 5:30, bell time 6:30. Tickets $12. Ages 6 to 10 only $10. 5 and under free. Proceeds benefit mostly high school student Kendall Susie. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
I'm Matt Glover with Aero Pest Service, and we are your family-owned and operated pest control company in Bay County since 1977. We can help you have a lawn that you can enjoy with your family. We can get rid of all the insects that destroy your parties. We can get rid of the weeds that give you anxiety, and we can fertilize your lawn and make sure that it's completely green and healthy, just the way you like it. Give us a call today at Aero Pest Service, 850-874-1900.
Hi, this is Coach James Hale. Keeping your car looking great is easy as 1, 2, 3 at Blue Sky Express Car Wash. By joining their monthly wash club, you'll get the best bang for your buck. In just 2 car washes, your monthly membership pays for itself, starting at only $19.99 a month. What are you waiting for? Become a member today at Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road next to Home Depot. Tell them Coach Hale sent you.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs, with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5, and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food, on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison. He doesn't always go the extra mile. But when he does, it's because he missed the exit. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Mark Coward sitting with us this morning.
Mark, where'd you get the shirt at?
Oh,
that's cool. That's way cool.
Rip gave it to me.
Mark's, what are you talking about? Mark's the one that takes me to the train station. he's in the back seat.
Hey, all right, here you go.
Yellowstone.
Little trivia. You ready?
Yeah.
Go to Google and search the Death Zone. The train station is a real place.
Oh, absolutely.
Look it up.
Really?
Yes, sir. The Death Zone. Look it up. It's right there. And when you see them and it says Wyoming, and they go to the train station on Yellowstone, and they go, the sign says "Welcome to Wyoming."
Yeah.
That's really just theatrics. It's actually you're leaving Wyoming to go to the Death Zone. You go through Montana, through the edge of Wyoming, then you get almost into Idaho. There's a little stretch of land, I don't know, like 50 miles long, real narrow.
We've got my wife loves that show, too.
I need you to look
We've
up.
got all the videos.
So Troy Seifert told me, listen, Troy Seifert, James, he don't even have TV that works. So Troy Seifert was telling me, he says, look up the Death Zone, and sure enough, that's a real place.
I'm going to do that and
do
tell
it.
my wife.
Wait a minute. Are you going to take your wife? You send her to the train station? Is that what I'm hearing you? Oh, okay. All right. Hey, I got another problem. I don't want to get too much into this, but I took Leighton to church yesterday, and she was concerned about the NIL deal with Taco Bell, and she said she's got to talk to her grandfather. I'm staying out of it. I'm going to get out of it because I don't think Eric's going to do more. Hello?
I'm listening.
Shouldn't you just stay out of family problems like that?
Me?
No. You're not even.
I'm not even
you screwed it up. You screwed it up. Hush. All right, SEC most loyal fan bases. They ranked them, and I kind of agree with them. You just think about it, man. If you were an Alabama fan, you enjoyed Nick Saban. You grew up with Bear Bryant. Tennessee, you had Bob Nealon, the general that was unbelievable. At Florida, you had Steve Spurrier. Auburn, Shug Jordan, Pat Dye. It's unbelievable. Fans, we've been spoiled by some of the greatest coaches ever. LSU, their last 3 coaches won national championships. I mean, it's unbelievable. Texas A&M, you got Jimbo Fisher making $9.5 million a year, and he goes 8-4. I don't know if you guys are happy with that or not. But here are your 14 ranked best fan bases in the SEC. And I'll start with 14. I think we all get this one, Vandy. Mark, they get SEC money. They have not put money into the football program hardly at all.
I know.
They're just now starting to do so, so maybe it will get better. I agree at 14. 13, I don't agree with this one. Maybe football-wise, I guess, but Kentucky. Kentucky's got great fans.
Oh, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
They're unbelievable.
They bleed blue.
Oh, my
basketball, are you kidding me?
I got
I was shocked at this one. They're at 14. Arkansas came in at number 12. They won 3 big games last year. Their fan base is incredible. They were going crazy, especially when they beat Texas at home. I thought that was a little bit too low, too. But you got so many great ones. I get it. 11, Ole Miss, the Rebel. You know what, Mark, though? With Ole Miss, I would probably put them 14th. I do know we have some good people here. Jay Quay's daughter went to Ole Miss. My brother-in-law's daughter went to Ole Miss. But let me ask you something about Ole Miss. They don't know what they are. They have a problem identifying who they are.
Yes.
They thought at one time they were rebels, and they got the social stuff got them. You can't be a rebel anymore.
You can't be a rebel. No.
So, I said, the hell with that. I'm a rebel. I always will be, and I'm a rebel. But they didn't say that.
I am what I am.
Yeah, but they didn't do that. They said, no, we're going to be the Black Bears. That didn't work. Then they said they're the Land Sharks.
Yuck.
They don't even know what they are. Ole Miss does not know what they are. You once were the pride of the South. You were the rebels, and now we don't know what you are. So I'd put you last. Of course, that used to be our big rival game back a long time ago. At number 10, Missouri. Missouri averages over 54,000 to all their games, 54,000. The stadium holds 61,000. I don't know. I think I'd have Missouri back a little bit lower than this one. I'm surprised this one. At number 9, Mississippi State Cowbells. They're great in baseball. Their baseball facility is unbelievable. Unbelievable amount of people go to their baseball games. Football games are incredible. They are one of the loudest stadiums, not the biggest, but one of the loudest stadiums in the SEC with all those cowbells. It'll give you a headache. If you ever played there, it'll drive you absolutely nuts. Now, Mark, I'm serious. I can't believe this one. I'm shocked at this one. I thought they'd be in the top 4. They don't know what they're talking about. At number 7, they got the Auburn Tigers.
Let me tell you something. I don't think that you got fans more crazed than an Auburn fan.
You go to any big football game. Go to a basketball game.
Oh my God!
It's incredible. They had to pay $250,000 in fines because they always rush the fields. It's unbelievable. Their stadium's like the 11th biggest in the nation. I don't get Florida Auburn being number 7. I thought they'd be a lot higher than that. They got some of the best fans.
I agree.
It's the loudest stadium. When I played at Southern Mississippi, to me, that was the loudest stadium we went to. Birmingham was packed out. But, Mark, honestly, in Legion Field, they were so used to winning back in the 70s with Bear Bryant. It was just like, we were Southern Mississippi. They didn't care about us. No. They just sit there in their hands. They clapped. They did begin the game. Roll time was loud.
They finally cared about Southern Mississippi, didn't they?
A little bit later they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, sir, brother. But I tell you what, you go to Auburn, that place is loud all the time. I've got a lot of respect for Auburn fans. Number 6, and I think Florida fans are unbelievable. They come in at number 6. The Florida Gators, Steve Spurrier spoiled them, man. He won so big there, it was incredible. He did what Bear Bryant did at Alabama. Spurrier came in and put them on the map. It was unbelievable what the guy did. He comes in there from Duke. He won a championship at Duke. Who can win a championship at Duke?
Nobody.
Only Steve Spurrier. And he makes Florida a national power. Their fans are incredible. The swamp is loud also. And I tell you what, they do a great job at baseball games. They do a great job at basketball games. I thought Florida. But the problem is, Mark, you got so many great schools, it's hard. All these fan bases are some of the best in the country. Coming in at number 5, Brian would have a heart attack on this one. Coming in at number 5, the Tennessee Volunteers.
I knew it.
Rocky Top, baby. I tell you what, that is exciting when they play that Rocky Top up there. 102,000
fans.
Like
Sweet Home Alabama and Tuscaloosa.
Hey, 102,000 fans almost every Saturday. Tony Thompson played for me. He went up there and played. He was All-American running back at Tennessee. He said it was something special.
One of the best running backs in the country.
He was unbelievable. Played in the Sugar Bowl. But I tell you what, Rocky Top. We got one of Eric's family members is,
I don't know what it is to Eric, but goes to Tennessee. He's a student at Tennessee. He's from Maryland. He visited Alabama. He visited Auburn, but he went to school at Tennessee. He said, I had such a wonderful visit there, academic scholarship. He went up there. He said the facilities are incredible. The scenery is beautiful. It is beautiful up there.
It is pretty.
So he
right
went
on
to
that
Tennessee.
river. People go to the game by boat.
It's gorgeous. So he picked them, and he could have gone to Alabama.
A lot of
Auburn,
people don't know they
anywhere.
can do that in Tennessee. You go to the game by boat.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Have you been up there?
It's like,
I've been to Nashville.
Oh, and now you got to go to
I
Knoxville.
lived in, Well, my sister lives in Knoxville.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, man. And they do have good fans.
so why don't you go to Knoxville?
Because my sister lives in Knoxville.
You don't want to go see her?
No, I love my sister.
Coming at number 4, Texas A&M, the 12th man.
No, I could see that.
Yeah, and their stadium's it's the 4th biggest in college football. And that, remember Legion Field Market, the upper deck used to sway.
Yes.
Well, Texas A&M, both sides sway like the press box. It's crazy. To me, it's like it's going to collapse. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get in that thing. But anyway, they do have great fans there. I can see this one, and this one, we got to give them credit. LSU is at number 3.
Death Valley.
Hey, baby. It's so loud there, it's insane. A night game. To talk
to somebody sitting next to you, you have to yell at them.
At a night game, it's
Yell
crazy.
at them.
Now, day game is a little different. Night game is crazy. They've been drinking all day.
Yeah.
They're ready to go.
Eating crawfish and drinking.
At number 2, I don't know about this one now. I'm gonna question number 2. I think they got this because they just won a national championship.
I agree with that.
Where are these stats coming from?
This is, I think it came out Saturdays Down South. They pick out the best fan bases throughout college football. Then they broke it down for each conference and everything like that. But coming in at number 2, the Georgia Bulldogs. 52 consecutive sellouts, 2021 national champs, elite fans. They're elite. There's no doubt about that. They outnumbered Alabama people in Indianapolis. I will say that. They outnumbered us in Atlanta.
I agree with that.
Of course, they're right down the road. They should have. But they came in at number 2. And number 1, the greatest fan base in college football, well, let's just say the SEC. The Alabama Crimson. I just got 2 words for you, baby. Roll Tide.
I will tell you this, as we travel, oftentimes I'll wear an Alabama pullover or an Alabama shirt or T-shirt.
Underwear.
I hear Roll Tide. I've heard it in Alaska. I've heard it in Canada. I've heard it overseas. I've heard it on the West Coast. I have heard
Ukraine.
it everywhere.
It's unbelievable. Russia.
Yeah,
China.
You do. You see it everywhere. The Kentucky is kind of the same, not as big, but in basketball,
I can promise
you can see
Daryl
Kentucky
and Angela Turner
Wildcats
work for
stuff
me,
everywhere.
They're big Kentucky fans, and I was shocked by the number of Kentucky fans that live down here. There's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you'll see Kentucky playing, and the whole restaurant will be blue.
Well, I will say this, for an NFL team, I will give credit to the Steelers. Steelers kind of like Alabama. They travel really well to other games, other cities. It's kind of incredible. But let's get back to the number 1 fan base in all of college football. Alabama is 5th in the nation in attendance. Their stadium is beautiful, unbelievable. You got the Bryant Conference Center. You got Bryant-Denny Stadium. You got Malmore Football Complex. And you go to a game up there, Mark, it's just a special thing.
It's an event.
It's really
They're
incredible.
tailgating 3 and 4 miles away.
Everywhere.
It's unbelievable. I had some friends one time that were big FSU fans. They'd never been to Tuscaloosa. I took them up to a game. They were shocked. They couldn't believe that 2 and 3 miles away.
It's like going to a NASCAR thing.
It is. It really is.
Take a golf cart to get to the Portalettes.
That's exactly right.
It's unbelievable. If you haven't been up there, go to it. You'll love it.
To witness.
And there's one thing they brought back: Dixieland Delight. If you've never been to the stadium in a big game, when that gets cranked up, it's incredible. Also, Dr. Chad Mitchell loves going up there, and Dr. Noble's kids go up there. We got the best fan bases anywhere. And I don't understand why people hate us. I don't get it. We don't brag.
Winning.
We don't, I don't know what it is. Our Alabama update's been brought to you by the one and only Stevenson Air Conditioning. You got any kind of problem, call them day or night. They'll be there to solve all problems. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number 1, not even close. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Saturday morning. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies today, and with the spring sunshine, should hit about 80 degrees. An east wind 10 to 15, and the water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 73. Mostly clear overnight, 60 to 65, light east winds. Another nice day for Sunday, mostly sunny around 80, a southeast wind about 10, 12 miles per hour. It'll be breezy to windy Monday, mostly sunny in the low 80s. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, this is meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is the Panhandle's destination for the Atlanta Braves.
Got him, swinging strike three.
Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves are back.
Unbelievable.
And hungry for more. Listen to the world champion Atlanta Braves on a world champion radio station.
Rosario knocked the living daylights out of it.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Have you been to Gin Gin Super King Buffet? It's not your average Gin Gin. Well, here's what you're missing. Gin Gin Super King Buffet has competitive pricing, a great selection, extensive buffet options perfect for family dining. Menu options also include top quality seafood, hibachi and sushi bar, or select their mouth-watering crab legs by order. Bring the family out to Gin Gin Super King Buffet, located next to Wonderworks at 9802 Front Beach Road on Panama City Beach.
Dr. Chad Mitchell, orthopedic surgeon, specializing in sports medicine and joint replacement of the knee, shoulder, and hip. He serves our local athletes and our community. Southern Orthopedic Specialist has been the leader in orthopedic care for over 20 years. New patients are welcome. Call 850-769-KNEE to schedule an appointment. More about Dr. Mitchell and Southern Orthopedic Specialist is available on their website, southernorthopedic.com. Southern Orthopedic, getting you back in the game.
I'm Matt Glover with Aero Pest Service, and we are your family-owned and operated pest control company in Bay County since 1977. Now's the time to have us supply our long-lasting custom blend fertilizer that is guaranteed to be the answer your lawn needs in order to stay green and beautiful all summer long. Give us a call today at Aero Pest Service, 850-874-1900. 850-874-1900.
I don't always talk to Alabama fans, but when I do, I ask for large fries. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Mark, highest pregame matchup for next year, the hype. These are going to be hyped up games for next year. They came up with the top five in the nation. But here we go. Let's start at number 5. And they even ranked it somehow, some way. They came up with a point, Stephen. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Basically, that's what it is. Coming in at number 5, the most pregame hype for 2022, coming at number 5. They had 93.6 whatever scale or points, whatever. Alabama at Ole Miss, November 12th. Now, I went to the game last year, and Alabama put on pretty good. When they go on the road and play in Oxford, Ole Miss does a great job.
Yeah, that's a tough place to win.
It really is. The Grove, they will be, I'm sure game day might be there. I'm not sure. But I tell you what, if you got lucky enough to get a ticket to that particular ball game, you'll enjoy it. All the pregame hype, all the tailgating out in the Grove.
That's a beautiful stadium. It's a beautiful atmosphere.
Gorgeous. So go try it. You'll love it. That came at number 5. Number 4 at 93.9, Ohio State at Penn State, October 29th. That will probably be a whiteout. Remember last year, Auburn, when Auburn went there and played? That was pretty impressive. And I remember the time Penn State beat them, and Ohio State was really good that year. That's going to be a big game. That's a huge game. I still like Ohio State.
I think this is a defining year for James Franklin.
Yeah, I don't get the hype on him. I never have. I just don't think he's an elite coach. That's just me.
I agree with you. Again, it goes back to some people are great head coaches and some people are better coordinators.
And he did a great job at Vandy.
Well, because he can coach. Yeah. He's just not an elite coach.
Yeah,
not an elite head coach.
There you go. That's what I was getting at. He was up for the Southern Cal job. He was up for the LSU job. So what did Penn State? They gave him a big raise, and he really didn't have a good year last year at all. So we'll see. Hopefully he'll do well and things get better. I don't see anybody beating Ohio State.
I think Penn State's lost some of their identity too, just a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. Mark, I don't know about you. Ohio State's offense, we'll have the best offense in college football next year. If they can play defense, watch out. If their defense is outstanding, I don't think anybody can beat Ohio State, not even Bama. At number 3, this game will be hyped up. 94.3 points in the scale here. Alabama at LSU, November 5th. Is it because Brian Kelly's the coach there?
Has to be.
LSU.
Because LSU's rebuilding. It's a rebuilding for them.
Yeah, it's got to be because Kelly's there, first-year coach. But Alabama and LSU's always a great rivalry game. LSU did a great – I went to that game last year.
Ryan
LSU
Kelly's still arguing
job.
that their player called for a fair catch against Alabama in 2014 in the national championship game.
Yeah.
For 15 minutes, the play was over. He's still arguing with the official about it.
Coach O did a great thing. They ran the line up that bear front and did some stunts against Alabama. I was at the game, LSU, Alabama, and they didn't know how to pick it up. I was kind of shocked. That's one thing.
Hey, let me tell you something. Coach Orgeron's a great coach.
Well, anyway, that's number 3. I don't know if I agree with that one or not. Number 2, 95.8, Clemson at Notre Dame, same weekend, November 5th, same weekend as Alabama, LSU. Clemson at Notre Dame. If I had to pick right now, even though Clemson was 10-3 last year, which seems like a really down year, I think right now if I had to make a pick, I got Clemson winning that ball game. I'm not sure about the new head coach.
Yeah,
young guy,
I think they made a selection that was popular, but
popular
not,
with their locker room.
Yes.
I'm sure it's the right thing to do. And number 1, I kind of agree with this one.
I'm going to go back to this.
Go ahead.
Talking about Notre Dame, selecting a coach that's popular with the locker room, it goes back to the transfer portal all over again. Because these kids can leave if they don't like who the coach is going to be.
Well, that's a good point you made right there. Plus, Kelly was going to bring a bunch of those guys from Notre Dame with him.
Yes.
They said, well, let's keep Coach here. Kids like him. The other assistant coaches like him. We won't lose half our staff.
That's right.
Keeps it rolling. So I understand that part. We'll see how it plays out. That's a great point you made right there. Number 1, and I kind of do agree with this one. Number 1, 97.9%. Alabama, Texas at Texas. Alabama at Texas. Mark, I don't know if you looked recently or not, but Texas is getting a lot of hype for next year.
Yeah, they do.
Everybody thinks they're going to be really good. They weren't very good last year. They've got in so far, 3 or 4 former Alabama players?
Yes.
At least 3. No, 2. 2 I know for sure. At least 2.
Well, here's the
and
thing.
half the coaching staff.
Well, that's what I was going to say is that it goes back to, but again, a 5-star player is only going to play like a 5-star player if he's coached by a 5-star coach. 5-star technique, 5-star program, 5-star atmosphere. Texas has all that. So if they get those kids playing, I think it's going to be a game changer. And I think in a lot of ways that Texas has got more growth potential than any other program in the country.
I agree with you. Texas and Texas A&M got more money than the other schools in the country. The NIL, they were playing. Texas was telling already that $50,000.
Well, a third-team offensive tackle at Texas A&M's got $50,000.
It's crazy. So I'm like you, and start coach for Saban.
I didn't make that much of a scouts team player in the NFL.
That's unbelievable.
That's crazy. Of course, that was back before there was. Yeah, they didn't have color television.
Can you believe that? No, I mean, start coach for Saban. He got three coaches that came from Saban there. He knows what he's doing. I think it's a home run. I think he's going to win big.
I agree with you.
I think he's going to win big.
I agree.
All right, so that's the number 1. Now, Barry Switzer. We all know Barry Switzer. Blaine. You remember my roommate Blaine?
Oh, I love Blaine.
Blaine drove from Lake Wells, Florida, when he was coaching with me down there. He drove from Lake Wells, Florida, out to Oklahoma, Norman, Oklahoma. No appointment, no anything. Goes up to the football facility, knocks on the door, and wants to see Barry Switzer. To my surprise, Coach Switzer's secretary says, "Well, you don't have an appointment." He says, "Well,
I got a bottle of bourbon.
I'm a high school coach from Lake Wells, Florida. I'd like to talk to him." He saw him. Could you imagine a kid from Oklahoma driving to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, not having an appointment? I don't think he'd get in to see Nick Saban.
I don't know. I almost think Saban might.
I don't. Let's keep it real. I don't think Nick Saban would see him. Hell, Nick Saban wouldn't even talk to us the first year we were up at Alabama, the entire football team.
He all but called you stupid.
That was Daniel. Oh, yeah. I do remember that. I do. He did call me. He said, that's a stupid ass question. He did say right there to me in 2007.
Greatest moment in James's life.
Right there. I mean, we were 2
Nick Saban
feet
goes,
from
that's a stupid-ass question. You need to ask the right question.
Yeah, he dang sure did. I said, Nick, I'll get up and slap. No, I didn't. Anyway, he did do that. But anyway, Blaine drove there. Barry got up, welcomed him. Come on in, Coach. What can I do for you? And he's.
What year was this?
This is probably back in 1980.
Things were way different back then.
83, 84, somewhere around there. I don't know. It was in the early 80s. But anyway, Barry said, Coach, come on in. Well, Blaine goes, Coach, I want to coach college football. You're the best coach in the country. I want to be a GA for you. Of course, that made Barry feel good. He appreciated it, really appreciated him coming all the way out to Oklahoma, appreciated him visiting with him. He said, but, Coach, he said, what I do here at Oklahoma, if we got a GA job open, we always offer it first to one of our players if they're interested in it. And this particular year, we've had a lot that wanted this position, so we have none right now. But he met with him. It was pretty cool. Well, you know what Barry's doing now? Barry has started the NIL at Oklahoma. He wants for every football player on that staff, he got 85 scholarship players, right, Mark?
Yes.
He wants every one of them to make at least $40,000 to $50,000, and he's going to make it happen. He's starting it. He's using some of his own money. He's going to get all those boosters together. Oklahoma is going to be becoming a player in NIL. He sees what's going on at Texas. He sees what's going on at Texas A&M. He knows they're going to the SEC. It has to be done, and he's going to get it done. I got to give the guy credit. He doesn't have to do that.
No, he does not.
And he's giving back to Oklahoma. Good job, Barry Switzer. Love it. Mark, tell us what's going on 30A.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what. Everything's going on 30A. You know what? If you haven't been out South Walton in a while, you need to drive. Go drive that 23, 24-mile stretch of road. It's something to witness. It's something to see.
Beautiful.
It really is. You want to come see SEC coaches, come out to 30A. I'll introduce you to them.
Yeah, is Coach O still down there?
Coach O, you know what? I hadn't seen him since he was running last time I saw him running down the street. But it's fun out there. It really is. I tell you, if anybody wants a great story, they need to read the Dan Lanning story how he ended up where he's at today out at Oregon. It's a great story, very much like Blaine. Very much like Blaine. Dan drove to Pittsburgh to meet with them.
The Steelers?
No.
Oh, Pitt.
Yeah.
Pitt. Okay.
He was coaching high school football. He wanted to be a GA, and he drove up there unannounced, showed up, and they were all gone at a coaching clinic. Waited to the next day, and they showed back up, and they worked it out. The same exact thing.
Man.
It's a great story.
Blaine, you didn't talk well enough. You didn't get the job. Anyway, this kid did.
Well, I mean, Blaine, you never should have said you knew James.
No, that's the only reason he saw him. Barry knew me. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow. Old School's gone. The Underdogs will be on this afternoon. Feinbaum is on from 6 to 10. We're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Thank you, Mark Howard.
It's here. The 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app version 2.0. Now featuring ultra high fidelity. You'll feel like you're in the game. Plus more opportunities to win weekly prizes from local businesses when you click it to win it. Download the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app today at Google Play or the Apple Store.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
It's the cooling season, and time to call Steverson Air Conditioning for your preventative maintenance to keep your air conditioning system operating at full capacity. Steverson Air Conditioning has preventative maintenance programs, and they service all makes and models. Steverson Air Conditioning offers air duct cleaning. Steverson Air Conditioning has after-hours service and free estimates on a system change-out or duct cleaning. Call them at 248-1109.
When it comes to understanding your needs, you want someone who will listen with understanding and care. The expertise you're looking for starts with your local agent, Johnny Ellis, appointed by Progressive Insurance. As members of the community, we live and work right next door. It's that personal touch that stays with you and your budget. Great coverage is at your service. Call 850-763-1627 or visit ellisagency.net today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is where history is made. WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, powered by Pepsi, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, it's David from the Afternoon Underdogs on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Join me weekdays starting at 4 for your chance to win choice prizes from amazing local businesses. And if you want to win something sweet right now, open the ESPN Northwest Florida app and click it to win it.
There's no other dynamic duo that compares to Katie and Kyrie. I mean, I haven't seen a pair.
Welcome to the Dan Patrick Show.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Absolute professionals at missing work.
Bringing you the biggest guests and best interviews.
And the Boston Celtics looking to sweep the preseason conference favorites.
You know, we're all just trying to gel. I don't have a lot of answers for how you make up time.
What? He's not accountable.
If you ain't driving the bus, don't walk around talking about you a champion. If you ride the bus, I don't want to hear.
Broadcasting from the Mercedes Man Cave.
When you link up with him, a self-absorbed egomaniac, this is what you risk.
This is Dan Patrick.
Hour 2 on this Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. We had a great vacation. Good to be back, though. Peter King from NBC Sports, the Monday morning quarterback. A little bit later on, he thinks there could be a surprise at the top of the draft. Jacksonville Jaguars on the clock. It was a year ago at this time. There wasn't a lot of buzz. We were talking about the quarterbacks. We were curious what the 49ers were going to do. Were the Jets actually going to take Zach Wilson? We knew that Trevor Lawrence was going to go number 1 overall. Mac Jones, we weren't quite sure. Could he go to the Niners? He was more of a finished product than Trey Lance. Could Bill Belichick get his next Tom Brady? There wasn't much talk about Aaron Rodgers. But then on draft day, I remember watching the mothership, and all of a sudden I go, wait, this is breaking news. And all of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers could be traded. And I thought, Adam Schefter came on and he started talking about it. And I'm going, boy, this is real. And, we later found out that it wasn't breaking news. And, Schefter was kind of cobbling together some stories and reports and whispers and innuendos. And then the draft happened. And then we thought, okay, let's see if somebody is going to take a quarterback or not take a quarterback who we thought would be taking a quarterback. And then Denver didn't take a quarterback. And then we thought, as I'd been told all along, this is where he's going to end up. Sources close to me say he's going to Denver. Denver is ready. Von Miller getting traded. They were going to get draft picks here. This has been a year-long process when you start to look back on this. And then, they took a defensive back, Patrick Surtain, and then we thought, okay, they're going to give up a couple of these, draft picks here, and they're going to get Aaron Rodgers. And then, of course, it didn't happen. So this year, we go, okay, what's the big news, all right? Does Baker Mayfield get traded after day 1? Deebo Samuel, does he get traded prior to the draft? Now, if I'm the Niners, and if I know I'm not going to re-sign him, I trade him before the draft. Because you have teams, and there are a lot of wide receivers in this draft. You're probably going to have, 5, 6 wide receivers taken in the first round. You could always go to the Jets and go, hey, you guys missed out on Tyreek Hill. Interested in Deebo Samuel? Okay, we got a couple of first-round draft picks. Here you go. Because they whiffed on Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill said he was never going to go to the Jets, but I would try to take advantage of these teams who are looking for a Deebo Samuel. You're looking for a sure thing, and you never can tell. First-round draft picks, wide receivers, it's hit or miss. You got one of the more impactful, maybe 5 most valuable player, one of the top 5 players as far as value goes in Deebo Samuel. I would try to take advantage of that. Baker Mayfield, it might be after day 1. or maybe it's day 2, where teams didn't get the quarterback they thought they were going to get, and then maybe they make a trade for Baker Mayfield. At least that's what I've been told. But those are storylines going in. I don't know if there's anything really interesting. Remember, Laramie Tunsil came out of nowhere. I mean, what are we, 10 minutes into the draft, and all of a sudden Laramie Tunsil and a mask taking bong hits, he hijacked the draft. Even though he was covering the draft, didn't know.
Hijacked.
Thank you. Okay.
That's unprecedented.
Thank you, Fritzy.
But that was good.
I'm getting more points on Around the Horn. Yeah, Paulie.
Okay, I got a Deebo Samuel question for you guys.
All right.
Does he want to be out of San Francisco because of football reasons or financial reasons?
I don't know if he wants to continue to be used the way he's been used.
Which made him a star.
But also, he probably looks at the money these other guys are getting paid, and he feels like, I'm every bit Tyreek Hill. I'm every bit Devontae Adams. Yeah, Paul.
Deebo went from being a good wide receiver that not a lot of people knew nationally to this all-purpose, unique, threatening weapon that is one of the more popular players in all of football, I think it's fair to say. And he doesn't want to do those things anymore?
I don't know. This is just what I'm reading into.
Yeah. It feels like when – I know it's apples and oranges, but when the Bears had Devin Hester and they decided to do other things with him. Deebo Samuel seems to be one of the most exciting players in football.
Yeah, but I don't know if he wants to continue to be used that way. But, this is a team that it still feels like, they're playing high level football. Playoffs, Super Bowl contenders. Maybe it just comes down to money. We'll talk to Peter King about this coming up. 877-3DP Show, email address dp@danpatrick.com, Twitter handle @DP Show. We all were on vacation this past week. Marvin went to Disneyland, took the family out there. I don't know who wins the vacation story game because Fritzy, okay, you went to Syracuse.
I went last Monday afternoon to visit my son, take him and one of his fraternity brothers out to dinner.
I just said you went to Syracuse, Todd.
Okay, and then I had to tell you my whole story.
No, you don't.
I did go to Syracuse last week for a night.
So I get this picture, late night, from Jim Boeheim's wife. Now, I know what you're thinking. How many times have I gotten a picture from Jim Boeheim's wife late at night? Well, this one had Todd Fritz in the middle of the Boeheims at dinner. And she said, guess who? And I went, oh, my God. And then I said to Todd, how long did you bother the Boeheims?
Not very long. Not as long as you would think, because I didn't want to even go over there at first because it's, they're having dinner. You don't want to interrupt people. And out of the corner of my eye, as we're being shown to our table, I see them there, and I'm like, I go to the table, and I tell my son and his friend, I'll be right back. I had to go over there, and I was very nice about it and polite. I said I didn't want to interrupt dinner, but I just had to say hi.
But you did.
I did. But I got right to the point. I told them who I was, and I just wanted to say hi, and I don't know when I'm going to get the opportunity again to see.
And they said, oh, is this the young fellow we did the bar mitzvah video for? Whoa, look how you've grown up. Look how big you've gotten, buddy.
Yeah, and I didn't bring my son over his friend and make it a whole thing. I just went over there, and it was his wife's idea to take a picture, and she insisted that Coach come around.
What's taken longer, for you to tell the story or you spending with the Boeheims?
Probably longer to tell the story.
Okay.
But I did like...
Why didn't you just send a bottle of wine over?
That's all pricey. I don't know. What do you send? What do you send the Boeheims? Like a $400 bottle? No, I don't even know what a bottle of wine.
You know what? $100 bottle of wine.
They already had wine. They were fine. They were up to dessert by then.
The gesture. That's all.
Well,
then
my gesture was you get to take a picture with Fritzy from the Dan
Yes, Paulie.
Two-part question. The over-under is 3 minutes that Fritzy spent at the table. Fritzy, honestly, over-under 3 minutes at the table.
Definitely more than 3 minutes.
Of course.
Over 3 minutes?
I actually asked if I could sit down and, we can get some, like, they had this chocolate mousse
What's
cake.
the next question?
Fritzy, be honest. Did you go over to see the Boeheims to impress your son or impress your son's friend and his fraternity brothers?
I did not, only because if I would have done that, then I would have invited them both over with me to meet them or something like that. So I didn't think that was appropriate. I let them go get settled at the table, and Julie said, let's take a picture, and she told Jim to come around, and they snapped it, and she said she was going to send it to you, and then she sent it to me. It was very cool.
Do we have any audio of that, Paulie?
That's all we got. That's all there is.
She definitely put him on the spot. He looked like he just wanted to have dinner, not taking photos, but they couldn't have been any nicer.
Really? Really? Do you think Jim Boeheim went there for a meet and greet? Like he just couldn't wait to have people come up and
He put his hand on his chin like he does at the press conferences. Like, all right, we'll do a picture. But they were very sweet.
All righty. Poll question, Seton. What are we going to go with? Hour 2 on this program.
Why don't we switch it up to something Debo related?
Okay.
Maybe Debo Samuel will end up with, and I have the Colts, the Eagles, the Patriots, the Packers, or the Jets.
Oh, okay. You know, if the Packers would get him, now you would pay what you were going to pay Devontae Adams, but now you have to give up draft picks there as well. But
it's 3 years younger.
Yeah, no.
Is that a big 3 years?
Well, I don't know. With the mileage of what he does in his job is different than what Devontae Adams does. But we'll talk to Peter King about this coming up. All right, 877-3DP-SHOW, email address dp@danpatrick.com, Twitter handle @DP-SHOW. Best and worst of the weekend, what you saw that you liked, you didn't like, it's your opportunity. It's so simple that watch Sean in Florida do it, or listen to Sean in Florida. Best and worst of the weekend.
Good morning, Dan. 6'3", 185. Best and worst of the weekend. My best was legend Miguel Cabrera joining Willie Mays and Hank Aaron as being the only guy in the 3,000 hit club to also have 500 home runs and bat over 300 batting average. I think that was pretty amazing. The worst of the weekend was Trae Young kind of underperforming. It's kind of mind-boggling because usually when the superstar is in the game for your team, you know, the plus-minus would be better. But it seems like the Hawks do better when he's on the bench. So I don't know how Nate McMillan or the coach gets around that. But
wait, Sean, go back to the question or the answer you had with Miguel Cabrera. The only players to bat over 300, 3,000 hits and over 500 home runs. Willie Mays and
Hank Aaron.
What about Albert Pujols?
I don't think his batting average is over 300.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you, Sean. Paul, would you check on that? For some reason, I thought Pujols was a 300 hitter.
Well, 6 years ago he was.
Oh.
He is now a career 297 hitter.
Oh, all right.
Albert Pujols hit 328 with the Cardinals, 256 with
Ouch.
team.
It's so dumb, it's criminal with Snoop Dogg. Snoop and a panel of comedians roast hilarious crime fails caught on camera. Stream the original series now. Go to peacocktv.com to sign up. Andrew in Washington is back. Hi, Andrew. What's on your mind today?
Oh, good morning, guys. Great to have all of you back. It's wonderful that you guys are back in the FSR rotation. Worst of the weekend, that anyone thought Ben Simmons would actually play in Game 4. Nets go down 3-0, and his back hurts again. Best of the weekend, I don't know if you saw this clip, but the Wolves have had some protesters at their game. The last game, security guard jumped over the front row, got the protester on the ground, and I would say gone in 6 seconds. So that was an excellent clip if you want to look that up. It is Paulie and I's bet week. It's the draft week, so I do have a draft stat of the day, if you don't mind.
All right. The bet is quarterback taken in the first 13 picks. Pie to the face for the loser. Marvin, hit the music.
Start of the day! Start of the day! Start of the day! Start of the day! Here comes the start of the day!
By having the second overall pick in this year's NFL draft, the Detroit Lions have some big shoes to fill. The last 2 times the Lions have had the second overall pick, they chose Hall of Famer Calvin Johnson in 2007 and possible future Hall of Famer Ndamukong Suh in 2010.
Start of the day! Start of the day! Start of the day! Start of the day! Here comes the start of the day!
Stat of the day brought to you by Panini America, the official trading cards of the Dan Patrick Show. Miguel Cabrera has had a quietly brilliant career. And I said this, I don't know if it was last year, might have been the year before, and I took some heat on it. I said, while we look at Mike Trout and say, oh, my God, he's going to be one of the great players of all time. I said, if you get Miguel Cabrera numbers for Mike Trout, then you've got a great player, a Hall of Fame, career. We're making Mike Trout out to be, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle all rolled into one. And the expectation level is, astronomically high. Miguel Cabrera, 300 hitter, 500 home runs, 3,000 hits. And he's done it in relative anonymity. I think when he was with the Marlins, people, when he was really young. But, you go to Detroit and all of a sudden he kind of disappeared. But, 310 batting average, 1,800 RBIs. It's really a magnificent career. And you start to look at Mike Trout, and it's like, oh, that's right, Mike Trout. If Mike Trout gets these numbers, then I would say he's lived up to the expectations. He's not Mantle, not Mays, not Aaron. Not yet. But Miguel Cabrera, that to me is a realistic goal, far more than being Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron. Because those are legendary careers. Like, the older we get, the better they were. Miguel Cabrera, those are unbelievable numbers. First ballot Hall of Fame numbers. But what we have, the expectation level for Mike Trout should be there, not one of the all-time greats. Yeah, Paulie.
Cabrera is similar to Trout. His first half of his career, he was in the playoffs all the time. But Miguel Cabrera hasn't appeared in a postseason since 2014. So it kind of takes you off the radar. But he had that run between 2010, 2016, where I think he led the league in batting average 4 times, home runs once, RBI 3 times. I mean, he did everything.
Yeah, but he was in the playoffs early in his career. Mike Trout hasn't been in the playoffs. He's been in 3 playoff games in his career. Hopefully that second half of his career, he gets a chance to, be remembered for all of the greats. At least for the most part, you look back and you go, well, what'd you do in the playoffs? What'd you do in the post? What'd you do in the World Series? And a lot of guys became Hall of Famers because of what they did in the postseason. To me, Curt Schilling is a Hall of Famer because of what he did in the postseason. Andy Pettitte, you can make the argument, even though, he got popped for steroids. I wouldn't put him in the Hall of Fame. But what he did in the postseason stood out. Yeah, Paul.
Yeah, Mike Trout played in 3 playoff games in 2014. He had 1 hit in 3 games. It was a home run.
Yeah, that's it. All right, let's take a break. We'll get to more phone calls coming up, best and worst of the weekend. And we'll hear from Kyrie Irving and also Charles Barkley coming up right after this Dan Patrick Show. I like to call it the New Year's resolution because it's, let's say you screwed up for the first couple of months and all of a sudden you moved on. Now you can try a new New Year's resolution, M-Drive. Supplement for driven guys, refuse to let age slow them down, and it's for you every single day. Take care of your health, stay active, and it only gets harder as we get older. M-Drive Lean is backed by science, contains a clinically tested blood orange extract that supports reduction in weight, waist size, and body mass. Quick and easy addition, daily routine. I did it a couple hours ago where you have a fruit smoothie, throw in a little, yes, Tom.
And M-Drive, M could be for May, starting after this week. Start fresh, and starting May, get your act together, get your energy up, your weight down, and do your thing.
Are you going to do it?
I should do that. It's something I should strongly consider doing.
It's just a yes or no.
I've been doing a lot of walking lately.
Are you happy?
I'm going to add the M-Drive, and I'm going to try to slim down.
Are you happy you jumped in?
Probably not. I totally interrupted you.
Don't
and now you put me
let
on the spot.
age beat you. Visit mdrivedan.com. Use the promo code Dan.
Are you a real estate investor looking to refinance one or more of your properties? Most lenders only work with cookie-cutter W-2 borrowers. At Cash Call Mortgage, we have loans designed specifically for investment properties. We qualify customers based on the cash flow from the investment property. Borrowers can get up to $2.5 million. That's right, $2.5 million. No tax returns or employment verification needed for our investment property loans, and absolutely no lender or broker fees. If you're a real estate investor looking to refinance a mortgage on one or more of your investment properties, give Cash Call Mortgage a try. To see if you qualify, visit cashcallmortgage.com or call now, 800-940-0655, 800-940-0655, 800-940-0655.
Cash Call Mortgage is a DBA of Impact Mortgage Corp. NMLS ID 128231. Not all applicants will qualify. Equal housing lender. Licensed by California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. Residential Mortgage Lending Act license number 4131083. Not licensed in all states including New York. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions or visit cashcallmortgage.com.
Everybody knows good quality sleep is important, but so is getting enough quality sleep. Sleep Number smart bed owners who use their smart bed's circadian rhythm feature improve their bedtime and wake-up consistency by 35 minutes. Now, do you have a consistent bedtime? Because studies have shown a consistent bedtime and wake-up time helps improve your quality sleep. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Create a relaxing bedtime routine, at least 20 minutes before you plan to close your eyes. An hour before bedtime, turn off all your devices. You want to try to stop using devices altogether. Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because every great day starts the night before. My Sleep Number setting, by the way, is 100. Right now, save $1,000 on Sleep Number's most popular smart bed, the i8 360 smart bed. Only for a limited time at Sleep Number stores or sleepnumber.com/Patrick.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The Paul Feinbaum Show.
Excited about the potential here. This is a place that's capable. It's done it before. We've got to get that potential to perform, and that's what we're waking up every day here to do. We're going to try to do it with integrity at the same time.
Fantastic conversation with Coach Billy Napier. It's such a treat to hear you talk about the future at Florida.
Paul, thanks for covering the Gators, man.
I can't wait. Thank you. Billy Napier.
Weekday evening 6 to 10, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Weather forecast for this afternoon, temperatures will be around 80. The water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 73. Mostly sunny this afternoon, an east wind 10 to 15. Light east winds tonight, mostly clear in the low to mid-60s. It'll be around 80 degrees Sunday, mostly sunny, a light breeze from the southeast. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, best little lumber yard in Panama City and Youngstown. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Let your spring adventure begin at Bill Byrne Kia. Stop by today to discover why everyone is talking about the award-winning Kia. Now offering 1.9% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a 2022 Kia Forte, K5, Soul, or Sorrento. Bill Byrne Kia is not only the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, they're the home of the best customer experience anywhere. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillByrdKia.com. We make buying a car easy, and you'll enjoy the way we do business.
Offer from KMF for the purchase of a new 2022 Forte, K5, Soul, and Sorrento with $21.65 per month per 1,000 financed. That's 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Byrne Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 5/2/22.
If you're renting, you may want to listen. A renter's policy from Progressive is a great way to save money and stay protected. Johnny Ellis can help you protect the things your landlord doesn't. The team at Ellis Agency Insurance can help you save even more by bundling your renters and auto policies from Progressive. Johnny Ellis has your back, along with your belongings. Call Ellis Agency Insurance at 850-763-1627 or visit ellisagency.net. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Since 1989, Bestway Portable Buildings has been serving this area. They can build anything from storage buildings to workshops, game rooms, garages, carports, custom-designed buildings from 8 by 8 up to 24 by 48. Even pole barns to cover motorhomes, heavy equipment, or farm equipment. Bestway Portable Buildings, Highway 231, just down from Hart's Marine. On the internet at bestwayportablebuildings.com. Come grab a cup of coffee with us and discuss your next building.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida are proud members of the Panama City Beach Chamber. We'd like to welcome the newest members to the Beach Chamber.
Balanced Beauty, Kamala's Catering Company, Coastline Productions, Condo Land Real Estate, and Daybreak Market and Fuel 7 LLC.
Congratulations from the area's only sports radio station, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Northwest Florida's sports station means ESPN Northwest Florida.
More phone calls coming up. Best and worst of the weekend. I went to Palm Springs, but I didn't go for Coachella, although I was out there for Coachella, and I actually went to play golf at a golf course right across the street from Coachella. And I went there, played golf with a friend, and all of a sudden I look out, and I'm on the driving range. And I look out, and I see somebody with their shirt off down a few houses. And I go, who is out there with their shirt off hitting golf balls? Would you guys like to guess? Yes, Todd.
Josh Duhamel was the first name to come.
Josh Duhamel loves to take his shirt off. No, he was not there. Paulie?
Really nice neighborhood, like a high-end area.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber, no.
Oh.
Seton O'Connor.
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar, no. Marvin?
I was going to say Drake.
Drake, no. Harry Styles.
Your buddy.
My buddy Harry Styles.
Did you wave over to him? Harry, it's me.
I didn't. I didn't want to make a scene. But this is a very famous golf course, or there's a lot of celebrity types who live there. Harry was, he was the headliner at Coachella, and he was staying at a house there. And I don't know if Harry understands the country club lifestyle, but he would have his shirt off, walking around and kind of just had the lay of the land. There were some other famous people who lived there. The Kardashians have homes there.
Oh.
Yeah.
You didn't walk up to Harry Styles. You've met him. You hung out with him before. You didn't go up and say hi.
No, I got a picture with him.
Oh, but I thought you.
No, he was half a mile away from me.
You know how sometimes people call in, they're like, hey, Dan, I don't know if you remember, but in 1996, I met you at the Cincinnati airport. I don't know if you remember that or not. You were this close to doing that with Harry Styles. Remember that time in New York City I took a picture with you coming out of the bathroom? Remember that? That was me. I was that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, good to see you again.
Hey, remember I was the guy who got the picture with you, Harry? Yeah.
Remember that time? Remember that guy?
Yeah. Adele has a house out there.
You see Adele?
I didn't see Adele. I didn't see anybody except for Harry Styles. Yeah. But I saw where a lot of people, Ellen DeGeneres has a house or just sold a house out there. Really, beautiful place. Let's see. Kanye has a couple of lots out there that he hasn't built on. I don't know if he's going to, considering it's right next to the Kardashians. But some really interesting, pricey real estate. Yes, Todd.
And if you happened to run into Adele, you would have said, hello. You didn't see that coming.
No,
I'm giving myself 1 point.
I didn't want to see that coming. By the way,
still gave myself a point.
Yes, Paulie.
That's a heck of a neighborhood. I mean, is everyone on the golf course, or do you see them at like social events?
No, I didn't see anybody. I just saw their houses. That's all. Yes, Eden.
So you went out basically to Coachella, but didn't go to Coachella.
Yes,
that's cool.
Yes, because everybody goes, but I go, but I don't go.
And which means that because it was Coachella week, it was probably like 10 times. Everything was like 10 times the price.
Yeah, crazy. And then Stagecoach, I guess, is coming in. That's the country version of Coachella. Yes, Mark.
Billie Eilish was there.
I know.
You could have seen her.
Billie Eilish was in the audience watching Harry Styles. And then Lizzo came on stage with Harry Styles. And the place went crazy. But, so Palm Springs, very nice. Pleasant. Weather is about the same every day. Yes, see.
Where do you fly into Palm Springs?
Palm Springs.
You do? They have an airport there?
Yeah.
Is there like a connection, or is it you go
direct? New York, Palm Springs.
Dang.
Yeah. Not bad. You get something about when you get off a plane and then you go out and it's like 75 degrees outside. When you land in Hawaii, baggage claim is outside. Like a big island.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
It's on a lava flow. It's an old lava flow. It's like pretty cool. Do you dress for where you're going when you get on a plane? Like the weather you're going to?
No, I just threw on whatever. In the middle of the flight, the pilot goes, hey, great news. Now I'm thinking, hey, we got some headwinds. We're going to get in there. It won't take us 5.5 hours. A judge just ruled that you can take off your mask mid-flight. And I went, what? And no one celebrated. No one. And most people kept their mask on. Like at that point, I'm like, I just leave it on until I get there. But, it was this, announcement. And then you land at the airport and some had a mask on, flight attendants, some did, some didn't. Like it was still kind of weird to go. And then we flew out of Los Angeles on the way back and sort of the same way, where you're just seeing people, some had masks on, some didn't. But you'd have all these signs saying a mask is required if you're coming in here to eat. So I guess we can be maskless, according to a judge. Kyrie Irving was talking about they're down and they're in trouble, and he talked about living up to the moment for Game 4.
We definitely put that expectation on ourselves to live up to the moment, and especially in a must-win game like this tonight. We definitely felt it. We felt like we had a good game plan coming in tonight, especially being on our home floor. It just didn't work out. It's just got to go back home and get the bulletproof vest on.
Kyrie did say, well, it would have been great if we could have kind of gotten together and, meshed back in, December, January. You're part of the reason why they couldn't do that, Kyrie. And then KD got injured. But, this is a disappointment. But I think you got to factor in everything with this, with Kyrie, with his stance on getting vaxxed, KD getting hurt, and then, James Harden playing his way out of another city, and then you bring in Ben Simmons, who hasn't played. And it feels like somebody keeps setting Ben Simmons up to almost be a piñata. Like, we keep waiting. All right, is he playing? He'll post a video. All right, he's got to post a video of his shoes. I'm thinking, all right, maybe he's playing. Well, I didn't think it was a good idea for him to play at all in the playoffs because he's not ready for this moment. Like, I want him easing in preseason, a couple of games against some, like the Sacramento Kings or Orlando Magic. Like ease into this a little bit. Not, hey, go in there against one of the best defensive teams in the NBA and everything that's at stake. And then he gets to the line and he misses, 4 free throws in a row. I know we romanticize this. Oh, Willis Reed coming out of the locker room. Okay. He had 4 points. That was it. Hit 2 jumpers. That's it. Walt Frazier had one of the greatest single playoff performances of all time. One of the great Game 7s of all time. I think he went 36 points, 19 assists, and maybe had 6 steals while playing against my idol, Jerry West. Nobody ever talks about it. Kurt Gibson is – what if Kurt Gibson struck out? Then we'd be like, what is he doing? What's Tommy doing? Why would he bring him up there? It worked, but it worked for a moment. We're asking Ben Simmons to be able to play 30 minutes, 35 minutes. This team has no depth whatsoever. Yes, Paul.
I have that box score, by the way, that you remembered off the top of your head. May 8th, 1970, Knicks-Lakers, Game 7. There's a lot of Hall of Famers on the floor. You got Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, and Elgin Baylor. Happy Harrison, was he a Hall of Famer? No. Then you got Walt Frazier, Dick Barnett, Bill Bradley, Dave DeBusschere, Willis Reed.
Yeah.
And Walt Frazier, 36 points, 19 assists, 7 rebounds. Dang. That's nutty.
But nobody talks about it because Willis Reed has come out of the locker room. And you're like, all right.
Yeah, Willis had 4 points.
Yes, he did. That was it. He was named the MVP. Imagine Walt Frazier. They gave him the MVP. Kind of crazy. Charles Barkley had this to say on TNT that he was talking about Ben Simmons.
When the players don't respect you, that's a big deal. When the player says, we can't count on this dude. Like fans, they're going to come and go when things are good and bad, and I love the fans. But Ben is getting to the point now where your teammates are like, yo, man, does this dude want to play basketball? Clearly it happened in Philly, and now it's happening like, yo, man, we need something. We need something. Because remember they were saying, like, we're going to give us 20 minutes. Remember that, Kenny, last week? He's going to give us 20. Like, yo, man, try to give me 20 minutes. And if you go out there and you can't play, we're like, hey, man, thanks for trying.
Yeah. I don't know who is saying that he's going to play 20 minutes. Because we just had Jeff Van Gundy on. And Van Gundy did 2 of the Nets-Celtics games. And he said when we talked to Steve Nash, he didn't talk about or give any inkling that Ben Simmons was going to play. And Jeff Van Gundy said a lot of this is agents giving information to the insiders. Yes, Steve.
But how many times in any sport have we seen a fully healthy, quote-unquote, superstar come in, give you 20 minutes, and be like, hey, okay, you tried your best. Okay, that's all right, you tried. That never happens. No. Never. No. Okay, hey, you did your best, buddy, okay? Don't worry about it. We'll get him next year. That does not exist.
And I forget who said it, but, hey, we would have all the respect in the world if he just tried to play. There's no guarantee, not with social media. Like, this isn't 20, 30 years ago where we'd go, that's unbelievable. What a gutty performance. Like, this is different. This is March that we should be, or February that we should have been trying to do this to get him acclimated. Look at Zion Williamson. He looks like he's ready to play. Can you imagine him playing now with the Pelicans? But I don't know. Like I have less questions about him because there is nothing psychological. It's physical. Should be able to come back. With Ben Simmons, you have to factor in the psychological aspect of this. Plus, how did he get injured? Sitting? How do you trade for somebody?
Atrophy.
I don't. That's what amazes me. Did you vet this trade where you go, hey, we just want to get rid of James Harden? Who are you getting? Ben Simmons. All right, Ben, are you okay? I guess. I don't know what's real and what's not. Would I like to see him play? Yes. He's not ready to play now for a variety of reasons. Zion, I don't get that. Because you could say to Zion, remember, he's been on a minutes count before where I just say, all right, 15, 20 minutes, 17 minutes, no matter what, you're coming out, just so you know. But Ben, no, he can't play. He shouldn't play. Craig in New Jersey. Hey, Craig, what's on your mind? By the way, Fritzy has a Ben Simmons limerick standing by.
I do.
Okay. Let's go to Craig in New Jersey first. We'll add to the buildup of that limerick. Hey, Craig.
It's a lot of pressure you just put on me, Dan. Thanks for that. Real quick, considering the state of, the Lakers making the playoffs, the Clippers making the playoffs and made a big push to get superstars, and the Nets appear to be on their way out, and the teams that are in contention to win, Phoenix, Golden State, Memphis, Boston, is the era of the super team over in the NBA?
Well, I think if you look at, nobody thought Russell Westbrook was going to work out. LeBron and AD did work out. With the Nets, with Kyrie, who knew that he wasn't going to get vaccinated? Ben Simmons was not. I mean, Ben Simmons hasn't played in a year. The last time we saw him was a game against the Hawks when he passed up, a chance to take the ball to the hoop. That's it. So if I factor in, let's say that Ben Simmons was healthy, Kyrie played the entire season, and KD was healthy, because people forget KD got hurt. I still think, the Celtics did it the right way, but they got Jason Tatum because the 76ers were idiots. Jaylen Brown, I think, has been a bit of a surprise. And, Marcus Smart, I think, has been a bit of a surprise. So there's a lot of luck that goes into this. Golden State Warriors did it the right way, and then they brought in KD. But then they draft Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole is for real, man. And no one talks about that guy. He is good. And that's why I'd like Golden State at the beginning of the year. Now, they did whiff on James Wiseman, because that's one of those, we got a high draft pick, and it doesn't seem like they're good players in this draft. And they took James Wiseman. Yeah, Paul.
I think what's interesting is Brandon Ingram. Remember when his career started out of Duke? He was kind of he was sleepy looking. He's thin.
Well, he was the next Durant.
Yeah.
If you watched him with his style, his build, and then he went to the Lakers. And, we saw glimpses there. It just, LeBron came in. And then all of a sudden, LeBron didn't want to play with kids. I mean, look at the talent that they got rid of. Brandon Ingram's 24. He's been in the league for 6 years. And this is where you just hit your stride. That 24 to 26, 27-year-old window. So, you're trying to troubleshoot some of these lineups here and figure them out. But the homegrown talent with Golden State, homegrown talent with the Celtics there, it's rare, but it can work. A lot of times you're like, can we rely on our scouting department, or do we just write a check here? And a lot of times these teams will opt for, writing a check. Let's see. What do we have here? David in Dallas. Hi, David. What's on your mind?
Morning, DP.
Good morning, David.
I had two bets for the weekend, if I could.
Okay.
First one, Oklahoma football, man. 75,000 spring football crowd, record crowd for OU. Brent Venables has really galvanized the fan base. So really cool to see. They also unveiled Baker Mayfield's statue, which was pretty awesome.
No. That wasn't a good statue. The unveiling was nice. The statue was not nice.
Yeah, the T2 look was a little much, but it was still kind of cool.
The bad guy in Terminator.
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2. That's who Baker's statue looks like.
And the last one, DP, saw John Mayer this weekend. Man, I really recommend to see that guy live. Put a master class for guitar playing, so really recommend it. Thank you, DP.
All right, thank you, David. Yeah, I saw the statue of Baker Mayfield. No, not good. Not good. Yeah, Paul.
The hairline is at least 2 inches further back than Baker Mayfield's hairline.
Yeah.
At least. That would bother me.
It feels a little early to give somebody statue recognition.
Well, I
statue
think
status.
If you get a Heisman at Oklahoma, you get a statue.
But now what's the time frame? How long did Jason White have to wait for his statue?
I got to check, but yeah, it's a tradition. It's a beautiful walkway there. We walk. But yeah, the hairline is.
It's back. Yes.
It's got to be so weird to get a statue at the exact same time no team wants you. Like, yeah, that's right. I show the NFL. I got a statue. I don't care what these guys think. Yeah, like all alone in his living room. I don't care what these guys think. I
got a statue.
Yeah, how many other guys got a statue?
I got a
statue.
I'll
show them.
Do you think he says to his wife, "Hey, honey, why don't we go see the statue today?" Again? That's 10 times this month. I know, but it'd be nice to go see it. Yes, Todd.
So is that a hairline fracture for the person that made that statue? Maybe?
Okay.
All right.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Great, I'll take it.
Yeah. Yes, Paul.
But, the progressive commercials, they may have to switch to him outside the statue, tending to it.
Yeah.
Make sure it's safe.
No, he can't get in the stadium.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you have, you can't have Deshaun Watson in a commercial. How do I spin progressive? What did you say? Regressive? It's going to be regressive.
Regressive. Unfortunately.
All right. Baker Mayfield for Regressive Insurance. We'll take a break. Our best and worst of the weekend, and Todd's Limerick on Ben Simmons coming up. We all have different ideas about success. We achieve it at different times in different ways. And now, if you've recently changed jobs or you're considering retirement, you're probably thinking about your own version of success and striving to reach your goals. Maybe it's time to start thinking about your investment portfolios and retirement accounts. Retirement's a big deal, big step. When it comes to investing for retirement, most people can't afford to make mistakes, and you shouldn't have to do it alone. For over 130 years, Stifel Financial Advisors have been helping clients like you create personalized retirement plans, understand the many options for claiming Social Security, and implement an investment portfolio designed around your needs. That's just the beginning. As a client, you also have access to Stifel's award-winning equity research and investment strategy views, enabling you to make informed decisions regarding your hard-earned wealth. Invest in your success. Find a Stifel Financial Advisor at stifel.com. STIFEL.com. Stifel Nicholas & Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Every 3 seconds, there's a new victim of identity theft. A criminal could be spending your money, applying for loans in your name, or even selling your personal info on the dark web. Everyday activities like online shopping, banking, and even data breaches may expose your information, making it dangerously easy to have your identity stolen. Unfortunately, watching your accounts or monitoring your credit may not be enough, but protecting your identity can be easy with LifeLock, a leader in identity theft protection. LifeLock monitors threats to your identity and, if an issue is detected, sends you an alert. And if you are a victim of identity theft, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to lifelock.com and use promo code NEWS. That's lifelock.com, promo code NEWS to save 25% off.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your radio home for live and local sports coverage. for the most high school and college sports from right here in our local area. It's the Coach James Hale Show, weekday mornings 7 till 9. Then the ride home is alive and kicking with the afternoon underdogs, covering the gamut of sports. Plus, the radio home for the defending world champion Atlanta Braves. Your local sports station is ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hear that? That's the plumpest, juiciest hot dogs you've ever seen getting their grill on. But we both know what'll make it sound even better. Oh, yeah. It's a Pepsi to go with your hot dog. Because when you're chomping on America's favorite meal, relish, mustard, and onions perfectly blending into a crescendo of flavor, there's only one thing that makes everything about that moment better. A cold, refreshing Pepsi. See what I mean? It's like music to my ears. Hot dogs. Better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
The brand new Burger King in Weewa Hitchka is looking for managers and team members. You'll get to use your smile and personality and get paid for it. You'll be responsible for getting guests excited about their experience every day at Burger King. You'll get to work in a safe, productive environment that allows employees to thrive and advance with career opportunities. Burger King promotes from within. They offer training and development, flexible schedules, employee meal discounts, and scholarship opportunities. Burger King is an equal opportunity employer. Interested job seekers should text 007-8075 to 31063 to apply. Must be at least 16 years of age.
Hi, I'm Bobby Likas with today's Car Clinic Minute. Chattanooga has its choo-choo and the Orient its express. But did you know that your car has a train of its very own? When I come back, I'll tell you all about it.
The Car Clinic Minute.
It's Bobby Likas Car Clinic, brought to you locally by Hewitt Tire and Auto.
Call 850-769-7323.
Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing.
Visit them online at HewittTire.com.
On Airport Road in Panama City.
That's 850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
Speeding locomotives have nothing on you. Even energy on Soul Train can't match that of your drivetrain. Okay, enough hinting. Drivetrain refers to all the pieces that together deliver power from engine to wheels. We're talking clutch, torque converter, CV joints, differentials, universal joints, and transmissions. Just like the hip bones connected to the leg bone, all these parts work in concert. And although you don't have to shovel coal to fire them up, like all trains, you do have to schedule maintenance. I'm Bobby Likas. Like us, you'll love us.
Back to the Dan Patrick Show. No. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
NFL schedule set to be released in mid-May. I'm guessing, just a guess, don't even have sources close to sources who know sources, that the opening night game on NBC will be, the Rams will be hosting. All right, you guys pick who the opposition, who would you put in if you look at the Rams schedule? If you can pull up the Rams schedule, who would you put in that first game if you're NBC in the NFL? I have two selections that I would go with. Now, you do have in their division, but nothing really sexy there. Yes, Punk.
Outside of the division, man, this is a good schedule. Chiefs, you got Packers, you got Bills, you got Cowboys.
All right.
Is that correct? That's some heavy hitters.
All right. Which game would you pick? Which opponent would you pick for the Rams opening night? Yes, Todd?
I think I want to see the Bucs after that almost comeback.
All right. Paulie?
I would go Bills.
All right. Seton?
My answer to everything opening weekend of the NFL is the Cowboys in some way.
Okay. Marv?
Packers.
I'm going to go Buffalo Bills, and I'm going to have the Broncos in there as a possibility. But I would think Buffalo, Rams, because then you'll get this could be a Super Bowl.
That's
preview.
fun. That's tasty. Yeah.
Like if the Packers play there, this is not a Super Bowl preview.
Are we going to see this matchup again?
Broncos, Rams, Bills, Rams. I would start out with the Bills, but we'll find out middle of May. I think it's like May 12th or something. By the way, the betting favorite, first overall pick, Trayvon Walker has supplanted Aiden Hutchinson as the betting favorite. And what I was told is Trayvon Walker, my source said, Trayvon Walker higher ceiling, the Georgia defensive player Aiden Hutchinson, the safer pick. Maybe it works out for Aiden Hutchinson that he ends up with Detroit. Peter King will join us in a half hour from now, get his thoughts on surprises that we could have at the top of the draft. Also, where is Deebo Samuel going to end up? And Baker Mayfield, probably after the first round, maybe after the second, third round, that he'll get traded. After these teams, they figure out what they're going to do. They get a quarterback, they don't get a quarterback. Also with Deebo Samuel, if I'm the Niners and I know he's not coming back, I'd trade him before the draft. Best and worst of the weekend. Paulie, I'll start with you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of USFL the past week. I don't know who's playing. I don't know who's on any team. They're all played in Birmingham, but there's some nice filler. That said, it's really tough to convince the wife to sit down and watch some USFL football. I have almost nothing to work with there, but I watch it when I can. The other best, I think Jimmy Butler of the Heat should only play in the playoffs and just not play during the regular season. He does nobody any favors during the regular season. He seems to get upset a lot. In the playoffs, he's fantastic. He's taking over the playoffs.
He is aggressive. They've been roughing up Trae Young, big time. Todd, best and worst of the weekend.
My best of the weekend, the Boston Celtics, in particular, their defense continuing to frustrate KD. Boston takes a 3-0 series lead, sadly. Durant and Kyrie only score 16 points each. Worst of the weekend, Yankee fans' behavior on Saturday afternoon in the Bronx, throwing garbage on the field at Cleveland Guardian outfielders.
Yeah, not a good sight there. Not a good sight. Marv, the best and worst of the weekend.
Best of the weekend for me is John Morant and Karl Anthony Towns' dads. They need a dad cast or something. Those guys have been nothing short of incredibly entertaining.
Yeah.
And just seeing them sit next to each other has been great. Also, same as Todd, the Yankees fans, ridiculous, embarrassing.
Seton O'Connor.
My best of the weekend, I've been trying to tell you guys about this dude. He's a sleeper pick for me. I knew he was going to be a breakout star this season. Pelicans guard Jose Alvarado. Now, I mean, how many times have I brought him up?
You're right.
How many times?
Countless times.
Yeah, Grand Theft Alvarado. I think you made that up, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, dude, what a like coming out party for that kid. All of a sudden, you're like, whoa, look at this dude.
He's not afraid.
Let's go, buddy. He's got that like childlike energy where he's just running all the time. You're like, wow.
He's not afraid.
Yeah,
not afraid.
My worst of the weekend was I finally watched that new Spider-Man movie, No Way Home.
Yeah.
It's C- maybe. I don't know. Maybe it came out a few months back, or maybe, I don't know, it's sometime in the last year or so. And I had all of this hype built up and finally got to watch it at home. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I have no interest in any of those movies. Marvel movies.